save, throw out the tweet, and boom. We did it. We are live on the interwebs.
Hello.
Hello. I wonder how many times I've started a stream saying these exact words. It's probably a couple of times.
Yeah, I think hello is one I will probably pretty often use. You know, it's one of those standard human greetings.
It is, yeah. Well, I'm just more wondering what the we are live on the interwebs. I feel like I said that like dozens of times, like at the beginning of the stream.
Well, I mean, it is accurate.
It is accurate, indeed. Yes. Let me open up this gamer juice right here, because I'm having a little bit of a afternoon down. I had food like an hour ago, so I think it's hitting it. Is this live? No. We're all AI. All AI.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at least part machine, not AI. There's no AI involved in my leg. Mostly mechanical, really.
Maybe it should be.
I feel like
I don't know what the benefit would be, but you know, everything has AI.
Yeah, I kind of feel it's like, well, I kind of need to be in control of my whole body, not just parts of it. So if it's like I try to walk into someplace and it's like, I can't let you go in there, Mark, and I'm just like, why?
You might find secrets you're not supposed to see, Mark. It's like, I just want to go to the bathroom. Stop. Yes, we are talking Overlord, indeed. Not the anime. It's a movie. The internet got confused every time I googled for it, because I was like, "You mean the anime?" It's like, no, I don't. I'm just surprised to be this early.
I have been forcing us into anime forges, but this is not one of those times.
I think I watched season 1 of Overlord like way back when it came out.
I have not.
I think I enjoyed it, but I don't remember anything about it.
I kind of just found out that it was an anime that exists like today.
I'm surprised you're not aware of it, because I'm fairly sure it's very popular. I mean, it's still going as well.
It's just wasn't on my radar.
Yeah.
It's not like I never watched popular animes. I've seen all of the solo leveling. It's a hot one with the kids right now.
How do you do, fellow kids? Do you watch them animes on the internet?
It's interesting too, because solo leveling's based on a Korean series of novels and manhwa, which is the Korean form of manga. But it's made by a Japanese studio. Like the original language of the anime is Japanese, so there is a Korean dub, but it's not the default.
Gotcha.
I just found that kind of interesting.
But yeah, the Overlord anime is like one of those trapped in a game world or something. I forgot.
I mean, well, solo leveling is not exactly that, or at least I mean, I guess we don't really know for sure. That could be what it is, but basically, one of the characters plays by video game rules in a world that I don't know. Do you know anything about solo leveling?
Not really, no.
Okay, so this thing happens where these dungeons just start randomly appearing all over the country. I guess Korea in this case. And I guess the whole world, actually, because there's people in different places that also have these. I think they're hunters, I believe, are what they called. But when the dungeon showed up, a bunch of people just developed superpowers, effectively, and they develop them at a certain rank, and they can't change. They can't become more powerful. So you spawned as like an E class through S class. And the main character is an E class, but survives a very kind of desperate situation, and then basically gets a UI. Like he has like a menu that he can see, and then realizes that he now has the ability to like gain experience, level up, and like put points into different stats. And
wait, I think I saw a clip of that anime online at some point.
that was pretty good. I mean, it's not like,
because I remember some guy fighting like some other enemy with like massive armor, and the guy only has like some stuff on, like normal clothes basically, and he just fucking starts jumping around with an UI in his face.
Yeah, so his armor can kind of be applied as like base armor with like layer like his cosmetic appearance he can kind of just shift to being normal clothes
Ah,
at a certain point. I don't think he can do that right away, but yeah, it's like character and like story wise it's okay, like it's not doing anything too crazy in that regard, but it is fun, like it's a good like power fantasy anime, I'd say.
okay.
But and it's 2 seasons, and it's I think that it's going to keep going at some point, but it ends on a pretty satisfying note. I think where it is, like
All right,
a
all right.
pretty major conflict is resolved, and there's some questions, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's worth going through.
Nice. Let's see here. Great animation, fighting, pretty thin on story, solo leveling. I see.
Yeah, I'd say. Well, I mean, I think the main character's motivation is decent enough, and I think that the problem it has is just by, especially by the end of season 2, he's so unbelievably powerful that it's kind of crazy to think if there's going to be like anything that will actually create tension. But I mean, like it's still kind of cool just seeing how crazy his skills get
Mm-hmm.
by even the end of season 1. Once he gets his class change quest, it's yeah, his ability is gonna become insane.
Have you all seen the movie trilogy Ong Bak? I think I saw the
Trilogy. I mean,
second and
I've
third
seen one
one.
and two. I didn't know there was a third one, or at
I
least
I
the
think I
last
watched
one.
them, but the only one I've seen multiple times is the first one. It's actually one of the very first forges I did all by my lonesome, like 3 years ago now. Because I really like Ong Bak. I think it's a really fun movie. It's when Tony
Yeah,
Jaa
yeah.
was still young and did all these crazy things. It was awesome.
The Protector is another good one too. That has probably the best use of fisheye lens I've ever seen in an action movie. In this kind of long one take scene where he's like fighting up this circular stairwell in this really big like atrium.
Mm-hmm.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, that's a fun one. Yeah, it's one of my favorite martial arts movies, Ong Bak. It's like really the fucking fight in that bar when he fights Mad Dog at the end. It's so good. Also, when just the
Yeah.
start when he just wants to go through the room and he just gets forced to fight, and he just kicks the shit out of the guy in like one swells, like in one kick. It's just so, bam, and everyone just goes silent. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Oh, it's oh god, where I saw it up there. Hiroyuki Sawano is the OST for Solo Leveling. He did the Attack on Titan music as well.
Oh. Tai Chi Master is also solid. I don't know about that one. Like I haven't heard of it, but it might be good. My go-tos will always be like The Raid, Ong Bak, Ip Man. Those are like all really fucking
Yeah, the two Raid
good.
movies are something we really
Oh,
should cover at some point. They're
got the
just
Blu-rays on
oh,
those.
although that reminded me, I watched the director's new movie. It's not very good.
Oh, which one? Which one was
It
that? The one with
it's
the ape mask?
no. That's actually the like Monkey Man. That's
Yeah.
Dev Patel. Like the director is the guy who starred in that movie.
Ah,
But
okay.
his new one is on Netflix with Tom Hardy.
Oh,
Havoc, I think it's called.
I heard there was
Yeah,
a
Havoc.
movie. I forgot about that though. Yeah, yeah.
It is not very good. There's some okay action in it. There's a lot more CGI than I would like from a Gareth Evans movie. I'm also now probably going to be much more reluctant to be like, man, they should just get Gareth Evans to direct more movies because it's like,
Mm.
well, I don't know. Maybe put him in situations where he's like making a movie in Indonesia and like has to rely on a stunt team without I don't know. I guess like it's CGI that I think is supposed to be in like New York or Chicago or something like that, but it's I think shot in England, so it's every wide shot has like a whole bunch of CGI in it, and it's kind of distracting. And just in general, it's like I don't know, the story's not fantastic.
No. Oh well. They
The
can't
Raid
all be
movies
winners.
are much better.
Actually, most of the movies these days are not winners, so
Hey, yeah, and Rudo the Seventh just mentioned they saw me on the Epic First stream the other day. So Ben was actually supposed to be our guest today, and then he had something to do, so he suggested Chaz come on Rough Night, and then we invited Rough Night into the chat, and it turns out he's sick. So yeah, there's almost 2 people from that stream that were going to be here, but both of them are unavailable. So it is just going to be the 2 of us.
Yes, yes.
But yeah, no, that was I basically just popped on their stream to talk about Expedition 33. And yeah, Monkey Man was okay.
I started watching that movie.
Indian John Wick. Like
I didn't get into that movie. I stopped watching it like halfway in. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it.
Fight scene at the end is pretty good. But I mean, yeah, it's I've not had any desire to watch it again since I saw it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, now that we're alone, we might as well touch upon Expedition 33 because I fucking played the shit out of that on the weekend all by myself. Chat, I played something by myself without you. I hope you're all mad at me.
He crushed Act 1 in one sitting. Like
no, one and a bit because I played like a couple of hours, a couple of days before. But yeah, yesterday I was basically just sobering out from being with friendos on Friday. We're hanging out, playing some Magic cards, got drunk as we do, and yeah, I had like 3 hours of sleep. I was like, man, I'm gonna go home and you know what, I'm gonna play a little bit more of Expedition 33 before I eventually, just fall unconscious. 10 hours later, it's 2 a.m. in the morning, and it said, and all of a sudden it said Act 2. I was like, oh shit, But yeah, I've really been enjoying it. It's a very nice surprise of a game. It's obviously, if you don't know, it's a turn-based RPG, but it has active elements in every fight. So basically, you need to parry or block or jump and then attack. Sometimes depending on the pattern of the enemies, and the way they do it is actually really satisfying. Because I was wondering how they actually implemented, and I'm pretty happy with it. It's very fun, and it has for me so far it had the right amount of raging to fuck yeah, I nailed that. It's I like it a whole bunch. I think the dialogue has been really solid so far. They take suicide serious in this game, which was very surprising to see that even comes up. And
like in a situation where, like, at least the first time it's sort of addressed, it's in a situation where it's like pretty understandable.
Oh yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I could totally see how you would come to this conclusion of doing this after it was just happened.
It's like, imagine if D-Day funny talking about Operation Overlord being the sort of the subject of this force, but imagine like if you landed on the beach in D-Day and you were the sole survivor of your unit, or at least as far as you know.
Yeah.
But also you're in an alternate like dimension where there's like no escape really.
Yeah. You have no idea how to get out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, yeah, no, like it's a pretty reasonable thing to consider at the very least.
Typical, we have to watch the slop and you enjoy yourself playing a decent game, allegedly. We don't know because we haven't seen it. Well, go watch someone else play the game.
Play it yourself, man. Like,
or play it yourself.
If you've got a PC or an Xbox, like I said, the barrier for entry is really low if you have access to Game Pass. Especially if you are not a Game Pass subscriber, you could probably pretty easily find a what's called like a 14-day trial, and 14 days might be tough to get through the entire game in that time, but I think you could get kind of as far as Metal. And I mean, if you're not playing any other game while you're playing it, I think 2 weeks might be reasonable. Granted, I've not finished the game, so for all I know, I think I'm towards the end of the game considering what I've just done. I could say this in a way that doesn't really spoil anything. I fought the 2 Axons, and now I have access to what seems like it could be the final dungeon. I don't know. Like
end game area, dear. Yeah, gotcha. Play myself. What is this? The Dark Ages? I know, right? No, but like I don't remember the last time I actually played a game just myself that wasn't just like a 1 or 2 hour one-off because I was bored. Like I didn't check YouTube, I didn't check Twitter or anything. I wasn't doing anything else. I just made myself food, and when I was done with that, I just played all the way through all day. I wasn't having a YouTube video on. Well, I guess I had one on at some points, but I wasn't really doing like a. I didn't have the need to be like, okay, I need to take a bit of a break here and just do something else for a while. I was like, I just want to play more. Like, this is fun. This is great. So yeah, I don't know when I last had that experience properly.
I mean, it's actually, Naruto also says he agrees with me on the epic verse. So with the discussion I was having with Phil from Project Eggroll is whether or not this is a JRPG. And I'm in the stance that yes, it absolutely is. But it kind of brings up the discussion of like, what is the definition of a JRPG?
That would have been
Does
my
it have to
question. Does it have to be from Japan to be a
Well,
JRPG?
I mean,
I don't know.
the premise that I set is that there's an S missing in the acronym, and because the way JRPG is used most commonly as
Is
a
it
genre
Japanese style
title, exactly.
RPG?
Like
Gotcha. Okay.
it's a Japanese style role playing game, and it is a pretty distinct series of gameplay design choices that make it quite different from something like a CRPG or a tactics RPG. And the root of all these gameplay styles comes from two games in particular: Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy, the originals. So it's like if all of those games, if all the games that have come after it are kind of based on Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest in design concept, the way CRPGs are based on Dungeons and Dragons and tabletop RPGs. I feel like this game being from France or Chained Echoes being a JRPG that's made by one German man doesn't change the fact that they're this type of game, and that trying to call them anything else and even just removing the J and just calling it an RPG, it's like, well, now you're not getting specific enough about what this is.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a million types of RPGs. And I also don't think it's necessarily what would be the word? Specific enough if you just sub it in for whatever country it's from. Like you could call this a French RPG, but it's like, okay, maybe, but what is a French RPG as far as like its style goes? Because I mean, it's not France technically. I was wrong about Larian being Swedish. They're Belgian. Belgium's pretty similar to France. They speak French there too. But so is Baldur's Gate 3 not a CRPG, but instead a Belgian RPG, like a BRPG? I feel it's like, well, at that point, the geographical semantics are not becoming helpful at all. Whereas I think that calling this a JRPG, calling Chained Echoes or Sea of Stars a JRPG, is a perfectly reasonable description of what kind of game it is that could tell people who haven't played it a lot about it. And yes, Cateran Overlord Metaphor was my game of the year last year. I am a pretty avid JRPG player. So yeah, it's 2 years in a row that we've got just absolute banger Japanese role-playing games. And last year also had Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. And I know that Metal's not a huge fan of the turn-based Yakuza games, but funny enough, the Expedition 33 does a lot of the things that they do in its combat. Like you can block every attack in Like a Dragon, or Yakuza Like a Dragon, and Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, which are.
I would need to compare the two to see why this one just jives much better with me.
I think I could actually tell you. I think it's because the defense mitigations in Expedition 33 are much more of an active role in the gameplay, whereas the blocking in Yakuza Like a Dragon and Like a Dragon, I'll just say Yakuza 7 and 8, they reduce the damage that you take. They don't stop the damage entirely and give you the opportunity to counterattack. So it's more spice to the combat system as opposed to like an integral element of it. Whereas in Expedition 33, the parrying, dodging, and countering is critical to the gameplay. Like there are flat out enemies, at least some of them, like at least some optional bosses, which you can only damage them by countering. Then there's one in the area I was just in where you don't even get a turn unless you counter him. Like it just keeps on attacking, like one after the other, and unless you parry its sequences properly and counterattack, it will just keep going until it kills you. And
okay,
yeah. And yeah, like Cateran Overlord, it can prevent status ailments. Like there is a purpose for blocking in the Yakuza games, but it's not as important to the gameplay as it is in this game. At the same time, you do still have the option to be more engaged in combat when it's not your turn, like when you're on the defense, and you're rewarded for it. So I think that's a nice thing that I think helps fight a criticism of JRPGs I've been hearing in schoolyards since I was like 13, where yeah, I don't want to play Final Fantasy 7. I get it's popular, but you just stand there and get hit. That's dumb. I'm like, yeah, well, it's not really about the it's not about the combat's moment to moment twitch reaction, at least like in a more traditional JRPG. It's about your strategy.
Yeah.
And like you got to not think of the turn-based as this is how this battle is actually occurring if it were in real life. It's just, no, this is how you're controlling this battle. It's pretty much it.
I just hit chat in the face.
Yeah, True Pop says yes, and those parries are an eternal reminder that I suck at the game. You gotta just find that rhythm, and you always dodge first too to like kind of figure out the timing. Because if you get perfect dodges, that's the parry timing. So if it just says dodge, that's not quite the parry. But if you start dodging frequently and it says perfect, then that's the
I basically
that timing for the parry.
I think I stopped using dodges very early on. It's like I want to learn those parry timings immediately.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, me too. There are some attacks though that I don't know how. Oh god, which enemy was I fighting? One that like it summons masks, and then the masks do this shot that like instantly kills an enemy, or sorry, instantly kills one of your party members almost, or like takes off a lot of health. Right. And I found that I just couldn't get the parry timing on that, but dodging it seemed to do okay.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta listen to some audio cues as well. I remember there was one enemy who shoots like a cannon at you. I think it's one of the gestural robot thingies. But he does like taps behind him with the weapon he has in his hand. He goes like bam, 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 and then he shoots, and then you gotta dodge. It's like there's lots of things you can look out for to get the timings, but they can be fucky, man.
Indeed.
And if you fuck up the timing on the first one and you don't recover immediately, you're probably gonna eat all those attacks if it's a bigger combo.
Yeah. And I think it was the Axon masks that seems to make more sense. It wasn't Renoir, because Renoir, I know he summons masks, but they're bigger. I think it might have just been an optional dungeon that I found, because I remember going through an area where it definitely wasn't one where I had to go through this, and you have to you find this boy who says something about this lady that does these things in this world, and you find her underground, talk to her, go back to the kid. He opens up a door, you go through the door and then climb up a mountain, and then you fight the thing that I'm talking about. I don't think it's a story critical boss though. I think it's just one that I found while exploring.
Yeah. Well, as I said, I just got to Act 2, and then I started swimming around, and I found the cave, and was like, I'm gonna play 1 more hour, and then there was like this weird thing with a big face and hands, and there was like things that came to crush me, and then I died, and I was like, I think it's time for bed. That was a bit too freaky for me right now. There's some weird anime designs, like in a good way. It's like, oh, those look trippy. But yeah, I like it. The Lamp Master, he looked funky. I wiped the floor with that guy though. Fucking pussy. Because I immediately noticed what they wanted me to do with those lamps. I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, Metal Scared of the Dark. Dude, there was like a fucking huge thing, and there was like corpses on the ground everywhere, and then the walls came closer, and I could immediately tell, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not winning this damage race. And I didn't.
Yeah. That'll happen.
There's another like chroma enemy. Looks like a sheep. It's like... I went back there after 5 hours and it still one had killed me. It's like, fine, I'll come back later then. Screw you. Obviously, if I really, really wanted to, I could just perfect dodge and parry everything every time and still beat it. But I was like, nah, can't be bothered to do that right now.
Gotta do it.
But yeah, no, really fun game. I'm probably going to play more after this Forge is done, so. And then
Yeah.
tomorrow I have to play more The Last of Us Part 2, and I'm already looking for the nearest tree to hang myself from because I couldn't not want to play anything less right now. But on like one or two more streams, I'll try to get as far as possible tomorrow, and then I got one more stream where I can finish up the story, and then I'm done with this stupid game forever. God, what a shit fucking game.
In case you spaced out for a second, he's talking about The Last of Us 2, not Expedition 3.
Yeah. Just one or two more The Last of Us streams, and then I'm done with that shit. And I guess I have to do the rant on the last episode of season 2 on like some other game, I guess. Probably Doom, because that's what I need to play.
Yeah, Doom. We're doing the Doom Forge on the 25th, which,
Uh-huh.
from what I hear about the game length, that should be a reasonable amount of time for at least most of us to get through it. And it's going to be you, me, John, and Miss Slaughter.
Right.
John said that he may not be able to finish it, but yeah, I think he'll still have decent observations.
Miss seeing you in Model Play Blueprints, those live streams were cool. I probably can't go back to that game for a while, because there's just too much going on. Because next week, like starting, I think Wednesday is when the release is, right? Doom.
Yeah, well, I think it's Tuesday night at 8 p.m. my time, so it'll probably be the middle of the night for you.
Okay. So
I
yeah,
got
so
a
it is.
prosthetics appointment in the morning, but other than that, I took leave for a couple days afterwards. So I'm just gonna try to play as much Doom as I can. If it doesn't run on Linux because of the Denuvo, I'm gonna be a little upset because yeah, I have a nice desk set up for my Linux build, and I was really looking forward to playing Doom on it. But I hear that apparently Denuvo makes Linux a little tricky sometimes. I'm like, oh crap. I can always just play it right here though.
Well, I'll just be playing it on Game Pass because why not?
I bought it on Steam, but I enjoyed the Doom games.
Do you get like earlier access for the pre-order?
Yeah, I got the early access one, but the only reason, oh, I guess that's the thing. I think for if you didn't get the early access one, Game Pass, I think will probably be Thursday. I think it's the 15th.
Oh.
I don't know. I'm not sure, but probably the like because I'm not streaming it and don't like really need to be playing it early, other than just having a couple extra days to finish it in time for the Forge. The deluxe edition that comes with the early access also comes with the DLC. So whatever the DLC is going to be, it's like included in it.
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I will play the Doom Dark Ages DLC, unless I hate Doom the Dark Ages, which that'll be a twist. But
Yeah.
yeah, I do hear that there are people who aren't a fan of this one. So who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I'll be streaming it, of course.
There you
Well,
go.
when it comes out on
Watch
Thursday, so I'll
Metal
probably
stream.
stream Thursday, then on Saturday, and then I'll see how far I get, and then we'll see. Maybe we'll. That's just an idea. Don't quote me on that, but maybe we'll skip a Forge next week so we get more time to play the game to maybe be done for the next the week after.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, if the chat's okay with it,
Chat doesn't have a say in this.
unless you've got time, like Monday night or something like that, we can do a pre-record.
Chat gets a Doom stream then anyway. It's not like there's going to be no
okay,
stream,
okay.
so I'll just stream Doom instead. So we're done with the. At least I'm done with the game when we get there.
Yeah, so and I guess yeah, and, then I don't even that would have been an extra day I could spend in the editing mines, but my Berserk video is pretty much done. Everybody, I'm just waiting on some things to do with my YouTube channel to sort themselves out before I actually make it live. But yeah, I've had a couple people give it a watch through, and I got a few things to fix about some audio levels with music, but at least when I could check the copyrights and it wasn't giving me errors, it didn't give me any. I use a cover of.
Yeah. I mean, I would be
Guts' theme
surprised.
in the intro
The audio, from what I've heard, I would be surprised if they would pick up anything from the music.
Well, so the in the intro I use Guts' theme, but it's a cover by a
Right.
channel called Gladius. So if you guys want to check it out, the link will be in the description of the video. And The outro, I use a cover of Forces, which is like the battle theme from the '97 anime by a Canadian named Little V, who does a metal cover of Forces. That's really good.
He also made the
I
theme song for Kenny Omega in AEW, but that's
Oh,
another
did he?
story. Yeah, he
Oh, so
did.
like you're aware of Little V? Oh, look at that.
Yeah, he made the he still Kenny Omega still uses the theme song. It's really good.
I did. I DM'd him on Twitter and told him I wanted to use it. He's not responded, so I'm probably just going to use it anyways and hope that he doesn't say no. Yeah, I'm claiming you. But like, oh come on, man! I even did the courtesy of like trying to reach out.
Oh well, oh well, oh
And
well.
Gladius, I emailed his business email, but again, no response. So like, yeah, so I do try to be like, hey, can I use your cover for this video? But all the rest of the music in the video is just OST from the games. So I figured that'd be more safe, just because I've streamed those games and never got claimed for anything. So
Mm-hmm.
I figured that but using game music in the video would be okay.
Yeah. It's not about Overlord the anime, huh? No.
Oh.
That's what comes up first, though. You need to put the 2018 behind it, otherwise you just find the anime stoof.
Is the anime worth watching? I'm kind of curious.
Is it early? I think I watched season 1 years and years ago, and I think I enjoyed it, but it's been too long, and I don't remember what goes on.
Well, I did catch up on Dr. Stone, and that was the most recent anime I was gunning my way through. That is a fun anime, though. I would recommend Dr. Stone. It's arguably a pretty good one to show kids, too, because there's nothing ultra inappropriate in it, and every problem is solved with science. And, like,
Oh, okay.
do you know the premise of it?
I have no idea. I only know the name. That's it.
All right, so a thing happens that basically turns everyone on the planet into stone for like thousands of years. And this dude, this high school kid who's like a science genius, is able to wake up, and there is a reason that he's able to, and he figures out how to wake other people up, and he essentially has to kind of go through all of like human technological development little by little to start like rebuilding humanity. But there's also some conflicts and things like that where he has to kind of figure out how to like do it based on like science. And I mean, even if it is pseudosciences like night science, saying it's the concepts, I think, are at least based in real science. So his ability to do some of the things might be a little anime and not necessarily as easy as he's able to actually achieve them. But yeah, I thought it was at least intriguing.
Interesting.
It's fun too. It's kind of lots of comedy stuff in it, even though it's I don't know if I'd call it an action show really. No, I mean there is action, but yeah, there's I think more action later in the series, whereas the first season is like primarily just like, okay, here's a problem we have. How can we use science and the resources that we have available to us right now in order to solve it?
Mm-hmm. Have to check out that anime. I'm stuck with One Piece still. Brand new episode just started. Dude, I don't think I'll ever try to catch up with One Piece ever again. This was way too much.
Yeah, I'm about 20 volumes into the manga. I kind of stopped when I had to do my Berserk reread and haven't gotten back to it yet. But maybe I will.
Listen, the last time I tried to watch it, they weren't all turning into weird god creatures that make cartoon sounds.
I'm trying to not even know anything about that, because I've just seen some like images from the newer seasons. I don't understand what's going on. I'm like, okay, I'm still in pirate exploring era of One Piece, at least in the
Listen,
manga,
from what I've seen, what's going on, like since they crossed the red line, for everyone who wants to cross the red line, you know, we're just don't. The site is insane, apparently. I don't know what's going on there, but they all have like crazy powers. It's fucking nuts. Animation looks good though. They're still doing good animation from what I see. But yeah, I don't know. I think what was the last thing I even saw? God, I don't remember. I think some arena. I think that's where they're trying to win back one of the fruits or something, because that popped up again. I don't know. It's been too long. I don't know. Okay, I don't know.
I probably have to reread maybe the last volume that I read, but the last thing that sticks out clearly in my mind was when they leave an island that has some giants on it, and they tell him to just go straight. And Louis like, whatever you do, sail straight. And Louis like, okay, like he's like very confidently says it. And then there's like a big kind of whale monster thing that's like directly in their path, and they're like, oh my god, we should move. And he's like, no. And they just like go right into its mouth. But and it works out okay, but I kind of forget where it goes from there.
I mean, one comedy beat I always remembered from One Piece is when I don't even know what island that was anymore, but there was like a zombie coming out of the floor, and Luffy just pushed him back down into the ground. I just always felt it really funny. It just doesn't react at all. It's like, you go back there. It's supposed to be up here.
There you go.
Yeah, that's one I constantly remember because I think it's really funny.
Well, perhaps I'll get back to the manga. So I did read the new Chainsaw Man. Now like hiatus between manga chapters, even when it's not a manga that takes like a year to get a new volume out. Like I was like, Chainsaw Man kind of is in a spot where I like really want to know what happens next, and the next volume comes out in English in September, and I'm like, oh, okay.
I tend to find a story with a protagonist that isn't in high school or just after high school usually catches my eyes much more than others. Oh, I get that.
Yeah, Berserk.
I do get that. Oh, yeah. They didn't even have high school then there.
I mean, I guess a good chunk of the Golden Age arc, Guts is quite young, but most of the story, he's like in his 20s.
You fucking wish to be in high school, whatever, when you know what happens to him.
Yeah, also, especially when he's like really young, but from when he's like 14 onward, he's just like, he's a professional mercenary. And
yeah.
So,
I mean,
he skipped high school and went to battle instead.
Metal, I'm so fucking tired. Well, maybe you hung out with a monk too much and had too much fun. It's funny. He messaged me with a picture, and then a monk sent me the same pictures where I was like, these fuckers, they just met up and they're having fun. Really rude. But yeah, it was good stuff. Also, I was about to...
Right. Volume 2 of Chainsaw Man definitely is, Chapter 2 or Act 2, I guess, of Chainsaw Man is definitely weirder. I'm still enjoying it, though. I like Asa as a...
Whatever happened with My Hero Academia? I remember watching, like, the first 2 seasons or something.
I've not seen any of that, but...
And I really liked the first 2 seasons because I remember the new peeps that you follow. They don't actually just annihilate the big bad. They actually have to just survive until the others get there. And I really found that enjoyable. But I think they just all became powerful now or something. I don't know. I'm just wondering. I never actually caught up.
Maybe I should watch My Hero Academia. I feel like that's one that I can catch up on because it's I think the daunting thing about One Piece is like, man, I honestly feel like I can catch up on the manga faster than the anime. Just because I hear they do like a whole episode of the anime per chapter, and I'll read one of those chapters in like 3 minutes. Like it's they don't take a long time. So I'm like, wow. Like, yeah, I guess I understand when people say One Piece is pretty padded, at least on anime.
Apparently working on a live-action movie for My Hero Academia. Okay. And there's another MHA series called Vigilantes. Okay.
And Haikira, I don't think he meant Chainsaw Man Season 2. I think he meant like Act 2 of past Volume 11, I guess. Like 11 volumes kind of take you to the end of the sort of first major arc. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to say anything that happens in it because I imagine when it comes out, we'll probably be covering the Race movie. But that's the next mini arc in Act 1 that they're covering. But I don't know if they're going to do a full Season 2. But I think they should at least finish the kind of Control Devil arc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. All of these like really long animes that just keep going. I mean, like Bleach. I remember watching the shit out of Bleach back in the day when I was younger. And I enjoyed it, and then I stopped watching, and when I checked, it's like, yeah, there's like 1,700 more episodes now. It's like, oh, okay. And now, I think they're done now. I think it finished like a couple of years ago. So, yeah, I don't know. I kind of gave up on actually catching up on all of these. It's just like, I don't know when I was supposed to do this. I don't even get the time to just rewatch One Punch Man. That's not even that long.
Yeah, One Punch Man's... Oh, there is a second season of One Punch Man. I just haven't seen it.
Yeah. And season 3 comes out this year, I'm pretty sure, right? It was this year and this year?
Maybe I should actually watch season 2. I heard it was bad, so I think I got kind of scared to watch it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Wonder Bleach manga to be another 100 chapters and Naruto to be 100 chapters shorter. Oh yeah, Naruto went on forever and then it just started a new one. The thing I always understood from, is it Boruto? Like
Yeah, that's the
all the
second
clips I've ever
release
seen from this
recently.
is just more Naruto doing cool fights. I've never actually seen anything of Boruto from those clips.
I hear people don't like it, but
That's what I heard too.
I'm not a Naruto guy, so I can't really tell you. Though I do reference Naruto in the Berserk video because of how Judo runs and Band of the Hawk.
I hate how his friends
Does the
became so
Naruto
useless
run.
quickly in Bleach. Dude, I know exactly what you mean. The guy that has like the hand. Was it just called Chad? Actually, I think he was just called Chado or something. And remember, he gets like one really epic fight because he gets like his second hand. He unlocks that power and he just actually beats someone. I was like, hell yeah, that's awesome. And then another guy comes that's stronger, like immediately after, and he just gets one hit killed, basically. I was like, come on, he just got something. Can't you give him like a win for more than 2 seconds? Like, what the fuck is this? This was me like when I was way younger. I didn't even care that much about, or wasn't as critical about things. Like, even there was like, you fucking serious? Why the fuck did you do that?
Yeah.
I was like, fine. It's the same with like in Dragon Ball. It's like always like Krillin. He always just gets fucking beat up. And it's like, goddamn, he's like, I really like him.
He full on dies in the Frieza arc.
He does. He gets fucking poofed. Chad was supposed to be the powerhouse, loses every fight. It's so lame.
It's funny that we said we're not covering the Overlord anime, but we've now.
If you talk about any other anime, then we can't
We've done like
think
the better part of an hour talking about anime. There you go, weeps. We're still looking out for you.
Oh.
Yeah, Krillin got fridged, and they took him out of the fridge and got him together with Android 18. Talking about a consolation prize.
I mean, I think he just won overall with that. So you go fight. I have her now. In typical anime, someone gets a power boost, they get beaten down afterwards. Yeah, I've never seen it turn around this quick though. Like he just fucking punched someone into a wall, and then like the other guy comes like, die. Like, oh, oh man.
But hey, I mean, I think we've spoken about anime enough on this show that I think that if you guys want to suggest either an anime movie or a reasonably length anime show for us to cover as a Forge, like,
Yeah.
we'll probably do it. Clearly, we can spend some time talking about weeb stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Can't do Dragon Ball though. That will take us a very long time.
I feel like if it was just normal Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, I've probably seen it enough in my lifetime to talk about it more.
I guess yeah, just like a non-structured discussion. I'm sure we
Yeah.
probably do on Dragon Ball, but yeah, if we were gonna go through all of it, also, I mean, I guess technically I've not seen all of Dragon Ball Z because the one I watched in entirety was the Kai version, which is apparently it cuts out a lot of filler and stuff.
But can you do Dragon Ball Evolution? I've actually never even watched that one for a meme.
No, I didn't watch it either. I was like, no, okay, I'm not interested. But I mean, hey, I wasn't interested in the One Piece live action show, and it turned out to be really good. So I think One Piece has now made me less reluctant to completely disregard an American live action adaptation of an anime. But I do get that it is the exception, not the rule.
Mm-hmm. Watch Gen 1 Transformers. I actually wouldn't mind doing Transformers. But I think
Like,
also
the
Mauler
no
wanted to
show,
do an arc on that like in 17 years. So I don't know if that's actually gonna
Transformers,
happen.
like the Michael Bay movies, or like the original.
I
cartoon
guess
show?
so.
Well, both.
Unless Riza means some of the cartoons.
You know,
I'm not sure.
I actually did watch a pretty good Transformers movie recently. That was it Transformers 1 or Transformers Prime? Is it the CGI one? That's like an origin story for
Oh, Gen 1 animation and original and movies. Oh, okay, just all of it. Okay. OG Transformers is a wild ride, says James. I bet it is.
Yeah.
Gotta ask Meme for that one. He's probably more knowledgeable about. Oh, Meme knows a lot about that stuff.
Yeah, Transformers 1, I guess is what it's called. But yeah, I watched that a few months ago, and I quite liked it. I thought it was surprisingly good because I saw a clip from it that was just Megatron and Optimus Prime like bantering like towards the beginning of the movie, and I thought it looked really cringe and bad. But then I kept on hearing it was pretty good, and yeah, I was surprised. It was not a bad one. Pretty fun movie.
No.
And it takes place entirely on Cybertron. It's not a not a Shia LaBeouf running around doing stuff movie.
Fun stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's plenty of stuff to watch, plenty of forges to fill. I actually don't know what's the next big movie that even comes out. I think it's unironically only Fantastic Four. I don't think any other big releases are coming anytime soon, right?
When's 28 years later? When's that? 'Cause that's kind of the only movie this year that I'm actually like looking forward to. Which is why I got sad when I saw that interview that Alex Garland did with Neil Druckmann, and he was basically sucking off The Last of Us 2, and I was like, oh no.
28 years later, June 19th, at least in Germany.
Okay, so that's like a month away, so that's pretty good. I think that's before Fantastic Four, isn't it?
Oh, apparently it's. I thought I saw 2 hour 40 minutes as 2 hour runtime. Okay, okay. Fantastic Four. Right, let me check that. Fantastico Four. Third Steps. That's July 24th.
Okay, so yeah, so it'll be well, hopefully, knock on wood.
God, I wish I wouldn't like roll my eyes every time I see Pedro Pascal's face. He's in too many things. I need a break.
Well, I mean, he was pretty good in the episodes of The Last of Us Part 2 that he's in.
He didn't really do anything.
Yeah, I know. He still added some gravitas.
I mean, he's a good actor, but it's
Yeah,
but
I mean, I
Joel,
don't
the
think he's a
character,
bad
is still
actor at all,
cucked
but-
out. He just fucking took all that Abby said and just was like, fucking do it.
Yeah. And I thought he had at least quite a few opportunities to kill her. Although at the same time, again, I think that's why having Dina be there and actively be in danger would be the reason to not just kill Abby, because then he probably would have killed Dina.
Plenty of time for you to cover up with Velma.
She got pretty close.
Oh, well.
Oh, God, I got headaches talking about new Marvel movies. Don't make me cover Velma.
That's 2 seasons, right? Oh, whatever.
I don't care.
I don't even want to talk. I don't even want to think about it.
I think actually Dina's in the new Superman movie too. I think she's playing Hawk Girl.
Oh, okay, nice. She's doing pretty well this season. The Dina actress, she's doing well. No guests. We've been completely abandoned today. There were 3 potential ones.
We had guests, and they all canceled on us like this morning.
Yeah,
luck of the draw.
It was like normally it's like one person can't make it. Sometimes like, oh yeah, but rarely it's like 3 where things happen. But that's fine. Shit happens, and we just bantered about everything and everyone so far. So that's good too, because we are also. I guess we could start with the actual movie we wanted to talk about, Overlord 2018.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course, it's also Mother's Day, so call you mothers. If it's Mother's Day for you, it is for me. I know, I think America has a different time, I think, right, for Mother's Day. I think. I'm not sure.
My mother was called this morning.
Yeah, normally we plan something, but I legit text my mom, so I was like, by the way, we didn't actually like plan anything for the day, didn't we? And she's like, oh yeah, I guess we didn't. I'm sick anyway. It's like, okay, well, let me know when you're not sick anymore so we can do something. It's like, okay. So yeah, I assume she's gonna give me a holla whenever she's not sick anymore. It's Mom Day in the US. Who had different Mother's Day? Maybe just tripping balls. That's fine too. That's it. That's all for Mother's Day. Yeah, call your moms if you still can. But
yeah, they were nice enough to birth you.
Exactly. EFAP must have blacklisted Battle for his misdeeds. Actually, I was the one big timing them the last 3 times I was invited. That's how Mauler said it. No, I could have been on the Thunderbolts last week. Was like, I'm doing this on the Forge. I'm not gonna double dip Thunderbolts. I think talking about once is more than enough. I'm not as strong as John with that one.
I didn't even want to talk about it once.
This is fair, yeah. Well, obviously I think they did one on the Until Dawn, but I didn't have time. I had a friendo over that weekend, so I couldn't join for that. And then they've just been doing Andor and other things I haven't seen, so haven't been able to join on those.
Andor really pulled out some aces this week.
I heard. I'm happy. I'm looking forward to actually watch it when I'm done with all the other things. Because apparently the last arc has been excellent, from what I've heard. Very good payoffs and all that shit. So yeah, whenever I'm done with The Last of Us, I'll take some time and just start from the front, start with season 1, and just go through it. I'm gonna have a great time with it.
Yeah, there's not really a way for me to talk about what was good in it without spoiling major stuff, so we won't. But yes, Andor episode 8, season 2 though is a really good episode of TV.
Did Jack Black and Lizzo show up in Andor? Oh, I hope so.
Yeah. Oh, that's what made it.
That's what made it excellent.
It was.
Metal has more EFAB appearances than some hosts. It's funny. I could not be on any EFAB for a year, and I'm still be in first place, I think. For guests. I've been on a lot of EFAB. It's so funny because now that I haven't been on for a little bit, like for a couple of months or so, I've legit been asked like in streams, like, is everything okay between you guys? Like, yeah, no, just busy. It's all good.
Yeah, as far as I know, I've not heard of any drama between EFAP and Metal.
I mean, I talk with Mauler basically every day, unless we're both busy. So I'm just you know.
I talked to Muller a bit about Andor on Discord, but
no,
I don't talk to him every day though. He does have a couple cameos in my video.
Nice. How's Moriarty been? Haven't seen him since the last Fort appearance. He must been working on his limited run video, which he released. Was this last week or 2 weeks ago? He did like an update on the limited run stuff. It was a good video. Apparently, he got like a lot of information while he was doing research from his first video that he made a follow up. So yeah, give it a watch. It's pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah, that was what. Yeah, we had Moriarty on here, right? Yeah, but for Hundreds of Beavers.
Yeah,
I guess that was the one where he said that it was like actually going to possibly involve like legal action.
Yeah, he was worried a little bit. Don't lie if there's a problem between you and Waller. Just apologize. You don't have to mean it. Apologize, I guess. I watched this Outer Wilds video, also interesting stuff. It's a really good video, and it's a shame that it doesn't get as many views as the other ones, because it's good stuff, and it's Outer Wilds. Outer Wilds is awesome.
Oh yeah, God, I've not played Outer Wilds in a little bit. I might be in trouble because I think I've now forgotten most of the things I've learned.
Uh-oh.
I think someone told me that like it is one of those games where it's just knowing things is what lets you progress, as opposed to.
It's not unlike with Blueprints, where your roguelike stuff is the knowledge you retain. That's what you want to work with.
Yeah, I think I'm the editing minds plus getting Expedition 33 going. I think totally threw me off my Outer Wilds adventure. But I'll get back to it at some point. I might have to like read a synopsis though of the things that I've already done.
Right.
Although I guess if you go back to those places, you can probably like Can you look at the journal things that are on the walls again, or once you see them, you see them? If you don't know the answer to that, that's fine.
Wait, you mean just on the beginning planet?
Well, no, on all of them, like you have those like memories that you kind of look at, and then like you look at the next step in it, and it gives you a little information for you. Those like journals that are kind of on the walls.
Are they somewhere for you to look? I don't remember, to be honest. I don't know. I don't remember anymore.
I mean, I guess like if they're still there, then I could just like find them again and reread them. But yeah, I don't know how well I'm gonna do with Outer Wilds if I go back to it and just. Well, I might have to like restart the whole game.
Fair, fair. I've punched the microphone again. I don't know. I'm just hateful. I'm just full of hate, and I have to punch some things.
It's okay. Happens to the best of us.
Yeah. Is Metal tall enough to be an EFAB host? Well, from what I know, how tall the others are, probably not.
Yeah, I guess that counts me out too, because I'm pretty sure you're taller than I am.
Damn. Well, no hope for us. We just have to stay here in the forge, I guess.
Yeah, that's okay. It's a nice little spot we got here.
Yeah. Anyway, the Overlord 2018.
Yeah.
Perfect segue. Very creative. It's
Yeah.
it's just a nice little horror action movie, I would say.
Mhm.
Right? So it's,
I think it probably could have, like, if it was in the kind of Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez grindhouse, like, I guess what would you call it? I guess stable of movies. I'd believe it. Like, it's kind of one of those. It's like a World War II kind of exploitation action horror movie with monsters and gore, and it's silly at times, but yeah, I think it's overall a pretty fun watch.
yes, yes, indeed. Uh, it's a very easy movie to watch. So if you just look for some, if you're just looking for something, you just want to pop on, and you don't want to, I guess think too much, and not like in a bad way. Just want to have something where cause and effect happens, and it's done in a decent way. I would probably recommend this one. It's just
Yeah.
it's not a lot of things where I'm like, oh, this is a bit shit or a bit jarring or whatever. I think there was one instance specifically at the end where it's like, I don't know why this guy is behaving that way. That was a bit stupid, but it's overall pretty solid.
Yeah, I think Boyce during the interrogation, I was like, okay, come on, dude. Like, but we'll get there. Not exactly at the end. It's kind of like right before the last act, but yeah. So it's it's a movie that the title, I suppose, refers to the operation that this movie revolves around, Operation Overlord, which happens on June 6th, 1944. It's often referred to as D-Day.
Today.
And we get a paratrooper unit that we're following, who are some of the first boots on the ground, because they're dropping in from the sky. They're not the boat people.
Yeah, and their objective is to get to this one church tower because they know they have like a radio antenna thingy there that does all the communications, and if they don't destroy it in time, it's gonna be lots of trouble for all the boats approaching on D-Day. So
Yeah,
we also have a little bit on a time.
Affect the Allies' ability to provide air support to the men landing on the beach.
Yeah, and we got a little group up here. Obviously, we got John Walker. I'm gonna call him John Walker the whole time because that's the meme. He kind of just looks like him, like same beard a little bit and everything. So I was like, this is John Walker, 100%. This in my head canon, this is John Walker's origin story right here.
I think it's worth noting though that he's sort of playing a character that, at least as far as like the way he speaks and acts, is a bit similar to MacReady from The Thing, which is played by his father, Kurt Russell. Wyatt Russell is the actor who plays John Walker, and Corporal Ford in this film.
Right.
Got the kind of gruff voice version of him.
But yeah, I mean the beginning of the movie is actually just like the first 30 minutes. If you don't know this movie, it's like, oh, I guess it's just an army movie, a war movie, World War II, D-Day.
Yeah,
We have some operation we need to do.
If you walked in without seeing a trailer or knowing anything of the movie, for a good chunk of it, it will just seem like a war movie. And no, Cateran Overlord, I do not have jump wings. I was actually training to get my jump wings, and then noticed that my ankles were just constantly spraining because I worked my body pretty hard, and then I ended up getting ankle ligament reconstruction surgery, and yada yada yada. I'm part robot now.
Yeah.
But, I did actually deploy with a airborne artillery unit, but not to a combat zone. Just we went to to the Arctic and did some things.
Nice.
The plane landed before we got out, though.
Oh, no parachute needed from that height, I think. Yeah.
No, I walked out of the plane. I had two legs at the time too. This was about actually almost a year exactly before I lost my leg. I think it was March 2018 or 2016. Sorry, so it was the next year.
Wow.
Yeah, so no wings on my uniform. Likely will not be either because I don't think they'd want me like even going on a jump course considering I have a prosthetic leg.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing some pretty basic stuff here in the beginning. We have a couple of people that we will follow around, of course. We got Boys. That's our main guy.
Main character, yeah.
The main character.
Boys, yeah, it's a black guy who's a conscript, and he's like fresh out of basic. He's not done any deployments or anything yet. His first mission is D-Day, and he's a paratrooper. So it's a pretty scary situation for what is effectively the perspective character. I guess you could say that. I guess maybe in a decent way of looking at it, if you played Metal Gear, it's almost like he's like an Otacon type character, like a really kind of a guy who's just very terrified of everything that's going on around him. And then Wyatt Russell's character, John Walker, is our Solid Snake.
Yeah, because he's introduced he was like in this other war zone already. He was put here like last minute because we needed someone with experience, I guess. But everyone is just kind of bantering around like the. What's the other guy that constantly gives Boys shit? God, I'm so bad with names. God damn it.
Which one are we trying to figure out here?
Oh, just the guy who gives Boys shit the whole time, who obviously comes around at the end and actually likes him.
Oh yeah, the New Yorker.
Yeah.
Gambler guy. I'll bring up the IMDb.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one who's bad with names. But yeah, we have him. He gives him shit. He basically tells him like he's not made for this throughout the movie, because he also tells like a little story later on with like that he didn't even kill a mouse, and then they got in trouble for it because it came back into the into their rooms and stuff. So yeah, just basically pointing that out. We get like a war photographer was just trying to do things here, and it's like, yeah, it's just nothing you haven't really seen before, but it's not like in a bad way. It's just they stick to the basics and give us a bit of a character we can follow around. Sorry? Tibbet, yes. Yeah.
Private First Class Tibbet.
That's the one.
And he's a good character. I like him. I remembered the name once I saw it too. I was like, oh yeah, Tibbet.
Yeah.
I think he's got some okay things through this movie. He's a bit of an asshole at first, and he kind of stays an asshole through a good chunk of it. But he does kind of have a softer side that's like revealed towards the end, and I thought that his little journey was a good one for what are essentially like all of the characters, other than I mean, even the main two characters really are pretty thin as far as like what you learn about them and what they go through.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that they all get like a nice little thing if they survive long enough to.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, they get over enemy territory. Obviously, flak is everywhere. Shit's going down fast. All the airplanes get annihilated, and they start to crash. They jump out of the plane. And he just barely makes it to the ground, lands underwater, has to cut himself free from the parachute so he doesn't drown, gets up and tries to regroup with his people without trying to get shot behind enemy lines.
Yeah. And man, the scene though where the bullets kind of start coming up through the bottom of the plane though, like they did a really good job of making you feel like, man, you're helpless here. Like,
there's nothing you can do. Yeah,
extremely terrifying. If anything, though, I thought that once the plane is like severely damaged, some of them took took much longer getting out of the plane than I would. Like it seemed like a few of them were even like kind of reluctant to jump. I'm like, motherfucker, like you do not want to be on this plane for much longer. You have no idea what's happening to it next because it's definitely not going to land.
Absolutely. So yeah, he's just kind of going around trying to fight some of his people, and he does find the commander that was on the plane, and he's being faced by a whole bunch of Nazis, and Boyce is almost about to show his position, but lucky for him, John Walker is here to stop him. Because of course, Boyce is the inexperienced guy who's like, I need to help my guy over there, but Walker knows better, of course. He's like, if you do that, you're just gonna die as well. You have like one rifle.
Like, no. Like there's like 12 of them. There's one of him. There's 2 of us, and I've seen you shoot.
Yeah. And he keeps reminding us like we have like the mission to destroy the church and the communications tower in it. So the rest of our boys don't just fly into a meat grinder, pretty much.
Which, I mean, you know, that's got to be the most difficult thing about an operation like that, where it's like, no, we're throwing kind of everyone at the enemy right now. So
yeah.
You've got to not think about saving your friends as a priority. Like the mission objective is the priority, because if you think that, like, assuming that, I mean, I'm sure this wasn't a real mission, especially what ends up happening later in it, but if your objective is to destroy a communications tower in order to provide air support for thousands of men all landing on the beach at Normandy,
yeah,
you have no idea how many people you would be killing if you don't complete the mission.
Yeah, it's
like you really do have to prioritize it, man. Like it's that might be the guy next to you, and you might really want to sacrifice yourself so that you can die knowing that you did everything you can to save him. But ultimately, it's like, well, there's like 4 of us here left to carry out this mission, and right now you're only aware of 2 of those.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, might have just been Boyce and Ford for all Boyce knew at that time. Jojo, it's okay. We won the war.
We won the war. No problem. It's all good. So it's got a little bit weirdly cut here what I'm having on screen. Hang on a second. It's all fleamed up.
Oh. That's got to be an Overlord notes, mission before self. And it's got to be a very difficult decision to make if you're in the middle of it. But again, you just got to be thinking that the objective is the thing that is going to save more of your friends.
Absolutely.
Which is why people get so pissed off when missions are planned poorly. It's like, well, you killed a whole bunch of us by just not thinking this out, really. Yeah, Jojo was ready to storm a beach, aren't you, baby girl? See, now she's quiet. Of course, I'm giving her belly rubs. That tends to help. Hey, baby. Should I keep vamping, or do you got what you got going?
Just keep going, yeah. I'll get it back on screen in a second.
Yeah, I think that another kind of interesting line there was the guy saying like, "Oh, look at all those people on the boats. I'm happy I'm up here. It's way harder to shoot down a plane." And then I think it's Tibbet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, the survival rate of paratroopers is like something like 10% of what it is for guys that are doing like a marine invasion or a marine landing. So it's like, yeah, well, I mean, I guess you just kind of got to tell yourself, oh, I guess we're safe.
Especially when you're flying over a heavily fortified beach line that has tons of flak.
Yeah,
that's exactly what happens.
I mean, the thing that's it's the thing that's keeping you most safe in that situation. It's just, well, there's so many planes that hopefully yours is one of the ones that makes it through. But ultimately, it's like, especially if you're one of the people that's sitting in a spot that one of the anti-aircraft rounds goes through, it's like there's nothing you could have done about that. And even one guy kind of gets up and tries to like do something, and him getting up puts him in the line of fire of one of them, and it's just, oh god. I'm very happy I was not in the military during like the, I guess for us, Juno Beach invasion. That's the beach that the Canadians took.
Ah, okay.
And they're all in Normandy, but just different beaches.
Yeah.
Omaha Beach is the Saving Private Ryan one.
Right.
And actually, that's why our Grammy Awards are called the Juno Awards.
Ah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Justin Bieber being awarded things that are named after our like most sacrificial mission of World War II. It's like, oh, okay.
He deserves it. Okay, he worked very hard.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they find 3 more people. Well, we got Tibbet, Jacob, I think was the other guy's name, and someone else.
Rosenfield? No, I think it was Chase,
Chase?
Tibbet, and Dawson.
Who was Jacob then? He was
Rosenfield,
looking.
I think,
He was looking for a Jacob.
He's the guy that was captured.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
And we do encounter him later, but I don't think we see him land. It's just when he gets recovered,
No, you're right.
he says like, no, like the crowds got me the second I landed.
Yeah. He just kind of talks. The one guy talks about how he wants to write a book. That's why he's doing like all the.
Awesome,
yeah. And while he talks
that's
about
his character thing for a little.
yeah, and then he steps on a mine and he goes everywhere, and it's yeah, they make sure everyone else falls in with Walker by just going a straight line and kind of like not punching, like poking the floor with the bayonet, so they realize when there's a mine.
Yeah, we still do that.
I mean, that's the safest way to do it, I assume.
I mean, and the thing is, though, standing isn't the way, or at least not the way we're trained to do it now. We go into like a leopard crawl, like a prone crawl, and you're going like an inch at a time. It's like you go forward, poke at like a 30-degree angle into the ground. If it's clear, you inch up forward a little, do it again, and yeah, that is our mine clearing drills. But it's also why people, at least in the Canadian Army, there's on Canadian Army bases, you're not supposed to walk on grass unless like you're in the field, like if you're in garrison. And what people often say is don't walk on the Queen's grass and I guess King's grass now. But the reason for that is that they want to get people in the habit of, if you've got the ability to walk on concrete over soft ground that you don't know what's underneath it, then you should, because there could be mines.
Interesting.
I found that out. I was like, I thought it was just like a like a military ceremonial thing, but no, apparently there's like a psychological training purpose to it as well.
Well, I'll learn all kinds of things today. Crazy.
Yeah, I'm good for the odd medical piece of knowledge or army stuff. Even though I'm sure if we wanted like a real, like if we wanted real medical stuff, we could find a doctor to bring on. Real army stuff, find a guy that's like actually been deployed to combat environments. But I was at a combat arms unit for like 6 years. So I definitely trained a lot. Just never went to war.
They continue moving with one guy, Blas, of course. And they find one lady from the French village they're going towards. And he's
Chloe.
Yeah, Chloe. Chloe.
Honestly, I don't know this actress from anything else, but pretty lady.
Yeah. And they capture her. Boys can actually speak a bit of French, so he just became the official translator of the team. And they want her to bring them to the village, and so she does. And they see the village is, well, specifically the church that has the antenna on it is pretty heavily fortified. There's a couple of people there. There's patrols going around, so they very carefully go to her house and basically use that as a base of operations in the attic. Also, one thing that should probably be mentioned, there's one thing that some weird shenanigans is happening. They find a quote-unquote jackal, but apparently it has like hoofs or something, and it looks really weird. And even Walker's like, that's a weird looking thing. I don't know what's going on here, but got like a first inkling that some weird stuff is happening here for sure.
Yeah. And someone's like, "Oh, it's the jackal that like guards the gates of hell or something like that." He's like, "Oh, like where do you like? You ever seen a jackal that looks like that?" And he's like, "Exactly."
Where'd you get that shit from? You say that. How does it pop in your head? It's like the Bible.
Yeah, Chris actually brings up a point about the brutality of some Canadian soldiers.
Oh, okay.
In World War One, yeah, apparently there was a lot of Canadians that were pretty over the top brutal in that
Damn.
war, and they're like, yeah, maybe we should make some rules that make it so that they can't do this stuff.
Yeah. Three of the team, except for boys, they go and check the room. But there's a snitch neighbor that sees the lady, and it's like, I'm just going. I was like, no, it's curfew. And then she got her little snitch whistle, and goes like, whistle, whistle, and gets the soldiers like, why are you snitching on me? And then they're about to be rude, but one of the SS officers is surprisingly nice to her and just tells her to go home. I'm sure he's just a nice fella who has no intentions of doing anything else, right?
Yeah, definitely. Although I gotta say that this dynamic and like the fact that it's a French actress who I've never heard of, that I was surprised at how pretty she was. It kind of like have a lot of similarities to Inglourious Bastards. It's like sort of a similar deal there too.
Well,
Including
the
her
thing is,
having a
Inglourious
decent
Bastards
speech.
has kind of destroyed every scene similar to that, because that one is just so fucking good that
Yeah,
I
no, I
see
just
scenes
meant
like
to-
this and it's like, oh yeah, I mean that's decent, but man, I've seen Inglourious Bastards and it's just never been topped. It's so fucking
Well, I
good.
think that's the thing. It's just like the idea of the relationship between oh god, what was Melanie Laurent, I think is the actress from Inglourious Bastards, and Daniel Bruhl. They had kind of a similar dynamic there where he is like pretty sweet on her, but she's just kind of like, yeah, I just don't want to die. And both female characters, I guess, get a bit of revenge involving fire at one point.
Yeah.
But Inglourious Bastards again develops it, does a lot more, and man, a lot more fire.
Oh yeah. Literally. So yeah, he almost gets Boyce almost gets caught, but he gets to regroup group, and the lady comes out and is like, oh, just need to check if you're actually not just also shit. So she reveals she can talk the English, and lets him in. And we got Tibbet go like, oh, that's fucking beautiful. Oh, we let's go to the Eiffel Tower. It's just, he's just one of those characters.
Yeah, it's a very snarky New Yorker.
And while they make their way out upstairs to the attic, they hear her aunt. She's like, oh, don't worry about her. She's not one of your problems. She's very sick. And you hear her wheeze and cough, and it sounds pretty bad.
Yeah, it's kind of otherworldly.
Not human, you might say.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess this is our first kind of hint that this might be a monster movie.
Exactly. She also has her brother here, who's kind of just hanging around for the most part. And,
yeah, he plays a nice little role in the film too.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, they just group up upstairs. And it's like, well, we got like 4 or 5-ish hours until they hit the coast, so we gotta act fast. Put all the explosives and stuff on the table. I need a count. And they try to figure out what they do, and says like, well, you might have to stop or distract the buzzsaws. And I'm pretty sure the buzzsaws is supposed to be like the machine gun nests, right? I guess that's what they call them.
Maybe, I don't know. Is that a German word?
Buzzsaw? I'm pretty sure a buzzsaw is not a German word.
Buzzsaw?
A buzzsaw.
Oh, okay.
A buzzsaw, yeah.
I didn't catch that. That's what they called them. But yeah, I mean, I would assume that would make sense for the machine gun nest because of how they sound when they're firing.
Yeah.
Not a term I've ever used, though.
Oh, the MG42 was referred to as Hitler's buzzsaw. Okay, yeah, there you go. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, because there are only 4 people, they have to come up with some plan. So the idea is to, distract the soldiers by, making some ruckus up there, but they can only spare like 1 or 2 people. So it's going to be risky either way, but that's the only thing they have right now because, as we already said, heavily patrolled everywhere, very dangerous. It's kind of fortified the church, so that's all they got to do.
Mm.
That's all they can do. Oh, this is also where Tibbet tells them about the story with the mouse. It was like there was a mouse in around where we were stationed, or I guess where they were doing training or something.
Yeah, their basic training.
Yeah, I guess they're just a barracks basically. And it's like, well, you should supposed to be kill that mouse, but he just captured it and put it back in the field, but it came back and shit everything up again, and then they all got in trouble. And he's basically just trying to say, you're not made for this. Like, you can't even kill a mouse. How are you going to kill anyone else? It's going to be a bad time for you, and it's going to be not beneficial to us.
Yeah, and while Boyce does end up being important, I think his lack of personality type as a traditional soldier is both used as like a positive and a negative in the story in a way that is pretty effective. Because yeah, he really is not built for this. It's just he got conscripted and didn't have much of a choice, and ended up in an airborne unit. So got to do what you got to do, but also you kind of can't change who you are like fundamentally.
Yeah, and then he goes back downside because he's supposed to check if everything is still clear down below, and he has a little peek in the aunt's room, and well, she looks like this right now. I'm just gonna put it on screen real quick, if I click the right button. This is what he sees, and he gets a bit shocked, and he's like, oh, that doesn't look very good, does it?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if it were me, I'd be like, aunt, do you want us to kill you? Like, do you want to live like this? Like,
this is fine with you because you don't look fine. And click.
Saving what he loves, not fighting what he hates.
And then the lady tells him that he liked his story about the mouse. He seems nice. And also, 2 of the team go back outside the town to check for patrols and trucks, and basically just write down how many come in and out, so they have a little bit of an understanding where they might be able to like go in and out unseen without any problems. Chloe gives him a little bit of a field dressing on his arm because she cut him earlier when they were trying to capture her. And I don't know, there's several...
something of a knife fighter.
Yeah.
I thought it was neat too that Ford, like during that scene, like Ford kind of disarms her and takes away her knife, and one of the things he does to kind of show that they can trust them is he hands her knife back.
Right. Yeah.
I thought that was good, because like that's something you can do without being able to speak the language, and it pretty clearly says like, look, this isn't going to make it so that you can kill us because we still have guns, and like now we're like a little on the defensive because you did just cut one of us, but here you go. Here's your knife back. Our intention is not to leave you defenseless.
And then the 2 have a little bit of a talk. She says how she was in university in London, I think. She went to university there. That's why she can speak English. And then she had to come back because of the war. Then they took the mother and father away, and it's all very sad. So just a little bit of backstory. Nothing crazy, just nice and basic stuff that just works. This is what you're gonna hear from me a lot of times in this movie. They just stick to the basics and just execute it decently. It's like,
I gotta say though, if it's like war starting and like the front lines encroaching into France, so I'd be like, can I just stay at school?
Yeah, I love university actually. Yeah.
You know, send my little brother out. He can live in my dorm with me.
Yeah. But before they can talk even more, the soldiers are coming back. Oh no, because the nice SS Nazi man, he actually is not that nice. What?
No way.
And he smokes too. He's such a bastard.
Oh no.
So yeah, they scramble to go upstairs. They kind of look through the floorboards in the attic to see what's going on. And well, as you know, the guy has been nice to her because he's been He's been getting something extra from her that she's not very fond of. He's a bit rapey, the guy, you know?
Yeah, so it would seem.
And she's trying to say, "Oh, I'm not feeling well, not today." But he starts to get his way anyway, and it's like the thing where they hide on top and have to watch what happens. And obviously, Walker is like, "Dude, we can't blow our cover. Like, it's just way too risky."
Yeah, it's like it sucks that we have to leave her in this situation, but we do also have a mission that is more important than her doing something that she may have done several times before, even if it's terrible. But yeah, Boyce is having none of that though.
No.
And endangers the mission for at least a pretty morally altruistic reason.
Yeah. Because he's
same time taking a pretty big chance there. Like.
Yeah. Also, the kid is also in the attic, and he drops his baseball, and they check. So it's they get very close to seeing them. They're waiting on the staircase with their guns pointed at it, but the soldier just throws the ball back, not before spitting on it because American baseball, America, puh. And then they leave and let them at the officer's gusto. And as I said, Boyce stops him, and now they have someone hostage.
Prisoner, yeah.
Or a prisoner, I should say. They don't really do a hostage situation.
Detainee.
A detainee, yeah, exactly.
Not technically a prisoner of war yet. Probably should be.
And yeah, the SS officer guy, he's the cocky guy, even in like a danger zone. He's like, you're gonna regret this, blah blah blah. He's one of those characters. Until John Walker gives him a headbutt and he falls unconscious.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that like the real danger is there that like we're really lucking out that they didn't have like one or two of the soldiers just like standing outside the door, being able to like hear what was going on, because yeah, they might have been like, I thought that they were going to be doing their stuff in this room. We're hearing nothing, and now it seems like we haven't heard from our boss in a while. Maybe we should go in and check, but luckily that doesn't happen, and they're able to detain the German officer.
And Walker just doesn't let it fly. He tells him immediately after, like, "Boys, you just put the risk admission heavily." It's like, well, we could just let her just shut up and just get Tibbet and Chase back so we can do our thing. It's like, okay. Because now they have to move to the tower because the chance that some of these soldiers are going to come back and check on him is fairly high, because he probably gets like a pickup at some point.
Yeah. And like I said, we're just really lucky that they left at all. Otherwise, this would have ended very fast. But I think like M8566 makes a point too that like like Boyce is the kind of guy who will do the right thing, even if it gets the contrast to Ford or like Walker. It kind of said like mission, like prioritize the mission for sure and do nothing to endanger it. Include doing things that are the right thing to do. But luckily they do. And this is the thing I was, I guess, like, wait, the interrogation starting yet, or we still got a little bit before that happens?
Oh, that's later. That's a bit later. We because we're going into the underground facility now, because Boyce is getting sent out to get Chase and Tibbet.
Him what's going on down there too? Okay.
And on the way out, he sees that they get some people from the facility and just burn them with flamethrowers. So, that's a bit excessive, but hey, war crimes, am I right?
Yeah, I mean, considering the context, though, I guess burning them, I think might be the better move, because they're not easy to kill, which we'll find out later.
But Boyce never makes it to Tibbet and Chase. He's getting chased by a dog that has sniffed him out. And he starts running away and gets on the truck that just drove past him. And that truck is full of corpses. And that truck drives straight into the facility. So now he's in there and has to sneak around, not get seen, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, which I mean, God, if I were Boyce, I probably would not have jumped into the actual truck.
Yeah, no,
Like I would have just hung onto the back and just got enough distance from the dog to like be able to lose it. But
no.
no, he goes right into the facility, which I was like, huh, well, this could go bad.
Yeah, just kind of go. He goes around, checks all the things out, tries to find a way out. Of course, that's his main objective here. But he hears like some coughing that sounds very similar to the aunt, auntie, and it doesn't sound great. He just sees someone through like a little peek hole who is like kind of, I don't know, tweaking out, spazzing out in a cell. But before he can even ask anything, more people are coming around the corner, so he has to hide away. And the doctor, which seems to be the leader of well, not the leader of the operation, leader of like the experiments down here. He looks through. You hear some, screaming, some splooching sounds from buddies. I was like, huh, not sure what's going on there, but the doctor seems to be pleased. It's like, oh yeah, sehr gut, das sieht super aus. See, I can say it because I speak that language.
Yeah, you can watch most of this movie without any kind of subtitles, except for the French ones, I guess.
He's the leader of the bunch. You know him well. He's my late great grandfather.
Oh no. Death's Head from Wolfenstein.
Yeah. But yeah, the Boyce checks again. He sees another monsterly figure, and he's probably like, huh, something's not going great here. But he also gets useful intel because he sees that the radio operation they're looking for, that's actually below the church. It's not in the church tower or anything. It's in the basement. And it's all a bad time. We get like a little cut back to the village. We see Chase and Tibbet just going back by themselves. And Boyce at some point arrives in the big experimentation room, and he finds all kinds of crazy, wacky things. There's a big tar pit. It's like, oh, that's weird. And also just sags hanging from the ceiling with people in it. I guess
little, like,
bleeding into the tar.
And yeah, it's pretty gross and very monster movie-ish. We're definitely exiting war movie section of the film and into more scary horror action stuff.
Yeah, because he actually unzips one of these bags, and a guy's head just kind of slowly comes out, and it's still the guy is still alive and just says "help me" in French. But before he can do more, there's more soldiers coming around. He's trying to hide. He finds a syringe with red goop stuff in it, so he takes one with him. What else does he?
Which may not have been the best idea.
Dude, he could have poked himself with that.
I mean, just like
it's
the
like
way it's utilized later.
Oh yeah, that too. I just saw like the exposed needle the whole time. I was like, oh god, he's running around a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, he finds the head that's still talking on a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Just the spine attached to it. It's pretty visual. There's some gory stuff in here.
Yeah, they like I said, they don't hold back on the gore kind of like horror exploitation movie stuff.
Yeah. He also finds Jacob. Our boy is back. He has like a weird tube inside of him.
Yeah,
which
God, it's disgusting looking. It's really kind of good horror makeup for like that tube and the way it's affixed to his torso.
Yeah. Let me see. Can you see that on screen if I got rid of the copyright by? Oh yeah, here, Chad. If you look at this, you can see it's like I don't know if it's like sewn onto the tube thingy, but it's there's like a needle in it that goes just into the thing. I'm not even exactly sure what that's for because I thought he's just gonna turn at some point and gonna be a problem, but he's there for the rest of the movie. So I don't know what this is for. It just kind of looks gross and does a thing. I don't know. But yeah, they're doing some crazy gross stuff down here, and we don't know what exactly they're up to. Those goobers. the way it's sewn on. Yeah, it looks nasty, and he has to pull it off as well. But before that, the doctor comes in with someone else, and they put the one of the syringes in a corpse, and that corpse starts to move again. And he's like, okay, that's odd. I don't remember corpses doing that when you poke them with needles. And I think they just kind of lock him into like a little, I don't know, tomb, basically, so he doesn't do any trouble. But yeah. Basically, he's seen a lot of weird things and crazy experimentations, and he really wants to get the fuck out of here. Weird German experiment stuff. Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we still do. Certainly. That's what I do in my basement, like every Sunday.
Oh, God, I'm now having thoughts about being the co-host.
You have signed. Canada. What do you think you needed to sign in blood?
I thought that was weird.
Have a little voodoo doll of you now. I'm going to poke you.
Okay. Can you sew a leg onto it?
No.
Oh.
That would just be
worth a shot.
That was just a wasteful waste of resources.
Look, if you could and I didn't ask, who's the idiot, right?
That's true, yeah. I thought that was just the goon cave. No, that's the other basement. Yeah, they realized one of the...
That's my goon cave.
Mein goon cave. In any case, they try to make their way out. They find a little, like a little gate thingy. No, not a gate, a grate. A grate that is a little loose. They kick it off, and they make their way outside and go back to the attic where the others wait. So now he's got all this information, and he's gonna tell them all about it as soon as he comes back. And they're very surprised to see that Jacob is with them as well. And Boyce is obviously very shaken. Like, hey, how did you? What's going on? It's like, wait, you were
not doing well right now. He's really wasn't expecting to see what he saw.
Yeah. And Walker's like, what do you mean? What do you mean inside the church? How the fuck did you get in there? He's like, I had to climb in the truck and dead bodies, and they did experimentations, and it's fucking insane. Like he's crashing out. Mm-hmm. And Walker's like, hey boys, just chill the fuck out. What's going on?
Breathe and think before each word.
Yeah, like he's trying to tell him what the fuck is going on. He's like, there was like a head without a body, and it's talking, and it's fucking crazy, and he's like breathing heavy and everything. Yeah, he needs to get yelled at so he can get the information out of them. And he shows them the syringe, and that leads Walker to go back to the SS commander. Waffner, I think Waffner is his name or something.
I'll let you do the pronunciation.
I assume it's Waffner. Yeah.
There you go.
And they just want information out of him, and obviously he's like, oh, I don't know what the doctor does down there. That sounds stupid. It's like, oh, but they're doing experiments. It's like, oh, it's war, yeah. Some people die, unfortunately. I'm sure the corporal here killed many of them as well. And then he just kicks him in the face. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, cool.
You never start with the head. It makes them all fuzzy.
That's true, yeah.
But yeah, and then here then proceeds with the interrogation sequence that I guess I'll give my thoughts on real quick because I got to run to the washroom, but I didn't want to miss this part.
Mm-hmm.
So the big kind of point of contention here that I didn't really agree with Boyce's decision is as Corporal Ford or Walker is about to start interrogating the guy and like basically just beating the living crap out of him to make him talk, Boyce is like, no, like we shouldn't be doing this. He's like, yeah, well, you got a better idea? Like, and I think it's like, hey man, you saw what they were doing in there. We're on a time limit, and this guy might have information that can help us stop what's going on in there. Maybe it's okay that we're a little rough on this guy right now.
I find it interesting because if they would have portrayed like actual John Walker in Captain America, Falcon Winter Soldier like this, There would have been much more interesting conversations to be had if there would be like a Captain America going around torturing people all the time, and you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like Captain America, but it's Jack Bauer from 24.
Yeah, like actually make him a bit more, maybe morally not the best thing to do, like even in this scenario, but obviously it's like a different context. But
Yeah,
I feel
and I
like
think
this
that they're gonna
this
be.
version of if this was the John Walker version, they could have gone the way they did more than they did now. But
Yeah, well,
yeah,
because I mean, the thing they did to make him a character that you're not supposed to like is they just kind of made him an idiot in Thunderbolts for a
hmm
good chunk of the scenes. Whereas I think having it be that he pushes things a bit too far every time might have been a better way to portray that in a way that's like, oh, maybe this guy shouldn't be Captain America. But this situation, I think, is unique because
yeah,
they've got a mission objective that they've got now hours, not days or anything like that, to accomplish. Otherwise, like D-Day might not go the same way. And B, we've just been told that they're doing like really fucked up experiments. So
yeah.
it's like, yeah, maybe this is what needs to happen in order for us to get something we can use to actually complete this mission. But anyways, I will be back shortly.
No problem. Yeah, it's interesting. So it's much more a moral question: should this be done, yes or no? And it's much more interesting conversation to be had. While now, in Thunderbolts, they just say, "I can't believe you attacked an innocent person." It's like, fuck off. I can't believe they actually kept with that. They kept up with that narrative and made it a character say out loud. It's like, oh, just killed someone innocent, and then Walker just says, "Define innocent." It's like, fucking hell, dude. Super dumb, super annoying. Um, so yeah, that's Boys is just trying to be the big old baby face in the scenario, but yeah, probably not the not the place to actually be the nice guy. Then we cut back from them coming back down, and they got all the information they needed. 40 people, that's way too many, and they still have to go with the plan where they have to cause a distraction while the other ones go up. And, like basically, that's all we got. And boys, as well, like I know a way inside the church. We should probably just blow it up from the inside. It's like way better and probably safer as well. And Morgan points out, it's like, no, we do fight our way in and then out. That's probably not gonna happen. That's way too risky. We can't really do this. They need a vehicle to get out of there. And oh yeah, they use the ESS officers like, hey, Chase, go get the guy from upstairs. We need him to draw a crowd. And this is where he goes upstairs and he gets tricked by the officer who looks like he's unconscious or asleep, but he's just playing possum. He's playing possum in order to overwhelm the guy who is also doesn't seem to be the most experienced. He's the photographer guy, so he's not super into fighting and shooting, apparently, or not as savvy. And he calls for help. It's like, hey, I probably need someone to help me get him downstairs. He's asleep, but he was just pretending, and he shoots the guy 3 times. And yeah, this is the undoing of the photographer. So they're now back to 4 people, unfortunately. So yeah, that's annoying. But the
So I would
yes.
also maybe make the
Oh
argument that this guy dying was partially Ford's fault because sending him alone was really stupid.
yeah, I
Like,
was about to get there. That's something I thought as well. It's like, oh, that was probably you probably should have done this yourself or with at least another person.
yeah, like even just him alone would have been stupid too. It's like,
Yeah.
well, I mean, especially if we're like cutting him down from the thing that's suspending him in place. We don't know what his level of ability is right now. Like he
Mm-hmm.
might be totally knocked out. He might be playing possum.
Yeah.
And we don't know how hurt he is. He might he might be disabled to the point that like he can't do anything and is super weak because we've just beaten the living shit out of him. But maybe he's a really tough guy, right? Like it's possible he might still have some fight left in him. So sending him alone, I thought was just a bad call.
Yeah,
like if I were Chase, I'd be like, can maybe one person come with me, like to just have a gun on the guy just in case he tries something.
Yeah. That's yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that gets him shot 3 times, and rip Chase. He's getting the, I guess, a very typical war movie death, I would say. It's like, oh,
yeah, like I'm gonna be okay, right?
I'm
like,
gonna be okay. Just don't let me die. Where's my camera? But obviously everybody already knows. It's like they see he's got shot 3 times in the chest.
Yeah, one's like dead the middle of the sternum too. In fact, him being able to talk was a little silly.
Oh, really? Okay. But yeah, they're like, no, you're gonna be okay. Just put pressure on it. But you see like the looks of the other ones and go like, it's over. And
yeah, pressure's not helping that wound. That's
and yeah, goodbye Chase. GG's. In the meantime, Tibbet has like a gun inside the guy's mouth the whole time. It's like, just let me fucking shoot him right now.
Yeah. Like, please, someone tell me that I can just pull this trigger.
Yeah. I think he even says like, I'll just get you another one. We can just hang up somewhere.
He's like, no, we need him to get in there. He's like, oh, I'll find another one.
Yeah. And then we get to some buddy horror stuff with the same guy, because he's not fully RIP yet. Because as mentioned, boys
decides, well, let's pump him full of some Nazi super soldier serum and see what happens.
Let's see what the red goop does to our boy Chase here. And initially, nothing happens. And the Walker says like, he's dead. Come on, we need to get moving. And then, whoop! He suddenly gets up, and Walker just says, "Holy Christ!"
Yeah.
It's like, how you feeling? It's like, I feel good. Really thirsty though, and he just downs like a whole canteen of water.
Downs the whole canteen, and then just doesn't realize that he's also crushed it with his hand.
Yeah, he looks down at the wounds. It's like, oh, I guess it wasn't as bad as he thought, huh? It's like, doesn't even hurt. And as I said, he crushed the canteen. It's like, huh, that's weird. And Tibbet even says, put it on the list.
Yeah, no, seriously. If I were in that room, I'd be like, I don't even know what to think right now. This is
yeah, but
beyond the abilities of an army medic for sure. I'd be like, well, I don't know.
Yeah, he goes like, hey, can you stand up? It's like, yeah, I think so. And he like gets up and he's like, oh man, I'm really hot right now. So he gets rid of his jacket, and then he looks at his arm. This like veins getting like super thick and gross, and he's like, what the fuck is going on? And he talks about how his head hurts and everything, and he smashes his head against like a supporting pillar of sorts, or a supporting beam.
Yeah, like the beam that they originally had the guy tied to before they hoisted him up.
It just straight up breaks, so he's definitely getting some powers. And then he kind of contorts back, and there's like bones sticking out of his
his collarbones both break and then start sticking out of his skin as he like kind of basically stretches his back out really violently.
Yeah,
pretty brutal.
Yeah, it looks really gross and rough, and it's like, Chase, he's trying to check on him. He's like, fuck did you do to me, Ed? It's like, okay, stop it right now. And then he just starts throwing people around. It's like, oh shit, like that's like actual some crazy super serum experiment things happening, but it's clearly not very stable right now, because he's just breaking all of his shit, and he just starts yelling at some point, and as you just saw on screen, Walker just fucking peppers him with like half a mag of his Thompson. He falls over, and he's like, holy fucking shit, what just happened?
And I guess this is a world before zombie movies were a thing, so it's not as ridiculous that he doesn't go for the head.
Right, yeah.
At the same time, he did instantly recover from shot to the body, so I maybe would have gone for the head just in case.
Yeah, maybe. And he's like, what happened? And the SS commander's like, 1,000-year Reich needs 1,000-year soldiers. And he's like, oh no, we're doing this,
Oh,
huh?
oh no.
And in the background, Chase gets back up again, wheezing. And he's like, you
Yeah.
gotta be shitting me.
Go for the
Actually,
headshot.
again. And
Rule number 2, always double tap.
yeah, the double tap, that's what Boyce does. He knocks him over and just fucking crushes his head in with the back of his gun. And just blood splattering everywhere.
Yeah, the Boyce found his ability to kill.
Yeah. They just kind of look at it for a while. It's like, boys, stop. He's dead, basically.
It's like, are you sure? I'm not.
Maybe we should get rid of his limbs too. I don't know what's going on. But this
Is he like
distraction,
Dracula, we gotta like cut him up and then move his body parts to like different parts of the world.
yeah. Yeah, Waffner uses the distraction to get away, grabs Paul, Chloe's brother, and just get Mia to get us to the lab. We just gotta get him back there right now. A bit of a firefight ensues, and Waffner gets shot in the cheek. He's definitely not having a good time. Also, Walker being badass, shooting a whole bunch of people, being tactical. He's I think he's still like the best part in this movie. I really like him.
Yeah. Yeah, like Wyatt Russell is a guy that they could be putting in good movies and he'd do well. But,
absolutely.
He's underutilized.
Yeah, no, he's
got a lot of his father's charisma.
I wish he wouldn't be in Marvel Slop though.
Yeah.
He's a good actor.
To be fair, his dad was in Marvel Slop too, but it was better Marvel Slop in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Right.
Before it was Slop, I guess. Though I know a lot of people that don't like Guardians 2. I like it quite a bit though.
I think 2 is still pretty solid, yeah. 3 is a different story, unfortunately. Even though I had fun on my first watch through, like a second watch through annihilated that movie immediately.
I've just not had any desire to go back and watch Guardians 3.
No.
I've only seen it once, and I had enough fun, but like there was also just tons of things about the movie that as I thought about them, they bothered me more. So I'm just like, I'm good.
I can't believe they teased like 2 or 3 deaths of the cast and then no one died. It's like, really, you know this is going to be the last one of them, and then you don't give anyone an heroic death? That's crazy.
We can't dive into Marvel movies that weren't good. I promised myself I wouldn't have a headache this week.
Okay, sorry.
Don't worry, we'll have a Fantastic Four episode in July.
We're gonna headache soon, hooray!
Yeah, I'm gonna preload myself with ibuprofen and Tylenol.
In any case, they got Paul now, and now Boyce convinces him to actually go down. Convinces the corporal to blow up the thing. We can't let them do more experiments. It's gonna be bad. It's the right thing to do. We can blow it up from the bottom, and that's gonna be great. But he's still like, no, we need to do it the other way around. But now Tibbet, he came around.
Yeah,
he's
Tibbet's I think the one that pushed him over the line, because Tibbet's like, yeah,
he could grab the kid as a bonus.
Yeah, it's like I'd kill 2 birds,
No. And then he just says, okay, you know what? Just tell me your plan while we walk there, and we're gonna do this. But just let it be known, our chances of survival go to almost 0 when we do it this way. But fine, we'll do it that way. Yeah, nice little arc here for our boy Tibbet, and I guess as well for Walker. What is his actual name, by the way? I just keep calling him Walker.
Corporal Ford.
Ford, yeah, that's right.
But I think also like Tibbet is like he's gotten to quite like the little kid too. Like they're actually kind of bonding. So like I think Tibbet really does want to save the kid, and he's not showing it as much as he does, but I think that's probably what made him say, yeah, we should go in.
Yeah. We go to the lab and see that Waffner just searches for some of the serum, the goop, and he fucking pushes 2 of those syringes into his fucking stomach.
Yeah, which I don't know if I would have gone for the double shot.
I would have probably gone for something lower than that, maybe half a one or
Yeah.
even less. See what happens.
So like, yeah, let's do like 0.5 mils, and then maybe see if that just heals my cheek.
But he goes for 2, and yeah, his cheek is fucked. It's like a big old hole in there.
Yeah, and yeah, then we're given our super powered monster final boss.
Yeah. Because that's what we're going for. And we get another nice little shot of his face, completely fucked up. Looks pretty nice and nasty. Anyway, Boyce tells him about the tunnel they can go through, and Jacob and not Tibbet, they stay back to create a ruckus. And they use Chloe to get the one soldier that has been nasty to her before, the SS commander came in. To chase her down the road all the way to a bridge where he gets knocked out by our boys because they need that.
I mean, this is a scene that I maybe would have played around with the editing a bit, and even just the choreography of exactly where she runs, because that motorcycle would definitely have caught up with her way faster.
Yeah, for some reason she walks onto the open street way too early. Like, she could have just stayed in the woods and then go on there when she gets to the bridge.
But yeah, she goes out on the open street when she's still got like 200 meters left to run with a motorcycle chasing her, and it's
yeah,
it does seem like the motorcycle is maybe moving a bit too slow, which yeah, I think you probably could have cleaned that up in post. But
yeah, for sure, 100%. And now we see what their plan is. They tie the guy to the motorcycle, put a grenade into his mouth with duct tape. So when you pull out you get rid of the duct tape, it pulls the pin of the grenade, and he explodes, plus all the explosives on his motorcycle they put there. I don't know. This is the scene that I meant. I don't know why this commander is acting like an absolute retard. It's like there's a guy coming. There's a guy coming your way. He stops. Like, he got duct tape there. He's clearly gesturing at his sidecar. He's like, and he pretends like the way he's talking. He basically says like, "Oh, what are you doing, you rascal?" Like someone's playing a prank on them. Even though he's like clearly tied up and is panicking, and they just fucking don't do anything, and then they explode, and all the other things explode, and well, I guess they got their ruckus, but I don't like this scene at all. I think the guy has to act like an absolute fucking moron, which he does.
The base commander becomes a total idiot, and again, another editing thing. The timing on that grenade was pretty slow too. Like,
yeah,
they pull the pin on the grenade, and it takes like a solid 10 seconds to blow, and yeah, that's like 4-second timer on a hand grenade. So.
Yeah. But
which, I mean, like, doesn't sound like a big difference, but it really is.
It is, yeah, for sure. But basically, a whole lot of soldiers come out now. They got rid of the ones that are already outside, and they created a nice little killing fields in front of the entrance. And every time people come out, they just use the machine gun that was on the cart before, from a heightened position, and just kill them all.
Yeah, well, Rosenfield like effectively doing suppressive fire, and it's actually Tibbet who's like kind of the sniper of the group. He's the one that's
right,
actually taking most of the guys out, and they kind of make a joke about that later.
So yeah, while this is happening, the other ones are inside now. They went through the little poop tunnel they went out of. Chloe separates from the two because she also wants to go for her brother immediately, while the other ones go and start putting on charges everywhere. So shit goes kaboom. She finds 2 soldiers, holds them at gunpoint, and the one guy gets a bit too cocky and says, "How the fuck would I know?" And he gets shot in the face immediately. So the other one complies now. It's like, yeah, I guess that's how you get them to talk.
Yeah, it's a nice little action scene here. If I were Chloe, I would maybe have been a bit more reluctant to start walking around this place alone.
Yeah.
They're like, well, I mean, if a matter of seconds would be the difference between, or like even a couple minutes would be the difference between saving your brother or not, then it's highly possible it's already too late. So you might as well just go when you have some backup. But again, they're doing some things to have like an action scene where everyone's kind of got a little role.
Yeah, exactly. We're now in the radio station. The guy is trying to call for backup because he says we're getting overrun here. There's too many, something of the sorts, if I remember correctly. Obviously, it's only the two upstairs and the other one's here, but they don't know this. They just get absolutely slaughtered in front of the door. And Ford tells boys like, "Hey, I'm putting the timer on 18 minutes. They land in 20, so whoever's not out of here after that time, is not gonna make it out of here." And we shall go back to Chloe, but the soldier is still here. He's not a little dumb goober. He is actually tricking her. It's like, oh, he's in there. And she looks, but there's just a weird, gross body in there. And actually, the soldier guy is about to shoot her, but Boyce just comes back in time. He just couldn't wait for her to do things on her own, so she gets saved by him in the last time, which then reveals another soldier man who's more like a zombie because he seems to eat the guy if you look at the scene, because he's losing some chunks out of his mouth.
Yeah, and I mean, again, like I think that I'll sometimes refer to this as like the Nazi zombie movie, but yeah, I guess it's a very, very debatable version of zombie. They're more like mutants, but I think it's just that they can resurrect from the dead. But it's the power zombie type, not they're not just like mindless things that eat people. They're like enraged, superpowered monsters.
Yeah, the girl needs saving. 0 out of 10. I know, right? Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, for like just a like not even fighter, like she was a university student who came back to France just when the war started happening. So she does have a fair amount of times where she does pretty well, like fighting wise.
Wow, what a woke piece of shit this movie is. I can't believe this shit.
0 out of 10.
0. It's both ways. It's a 0.
I just realized that M8566 did say 0 out of 10. I stole the joke. Sorry. Yeah, same with Resident Evil, but like the bioweapons of Resident Evil. They're all like little Weskers.
Less stable though, yeah.
No, Resident Evil 5 Wesker gets pretty unstable.
Let me see. Chase and Tibbet. No, not Chase. The other guy, Jacob and Tibbet outside, making their way for more distractions. Boyce and Chloe are now down in the lab, find Paul, but they also find. Oh wait, no, not yet. I'm stupid. Boyce tells Chloe to run, and she points Paul to run away through the tunnel. But before she can follow, she gets grabbed by the one serum master guy who came back from the dead, and she gets slid across the room. And I assume they used like some contortionist guy as the actor because he does like all kinds of these weird movements that look freaky. And he goes like, and
this is a very unstable zombie monster guy.
Yeah, he is about to just like beat her up and eat her. I think he's missing an arm too. Oh yeah, you can see it here. It's like just his bones sticking out, and he almost gets her, but then she just kind of gets her hands high enough with the pistol to shoot him a couple of times in the head and get away. But unfortunately, that's not enough. That fucker is still getting up. These boys are super resilient.
Yeah, total destruction of the brain. Not even a few headshots.
And she just runs away, tries to run outside, but she finds the flamethrowers, the Flammenwerfer, and as everybody knows, they werf Flammen. That's how they use it. And he burns the boy to a crisp, and that's GG for that guy.
Yeah, so she gets her little like action moment.
Yeah.
It's like the end of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but not played for laughs. And a little bit like Inglourious Bastards. It's a double Quentin Tarantino reference.
Damn. Back with Ford/Walker, he puts the last of the. Would that be C4 or Semtex? Or is that the same thing?
Like in World War II, I'm not sure, but like C4 is, I guess, what we use for
Yeah.
at least explosives ordnance removal. Because granted, the only time I'm ever dealing with explosives are when I'm the medic on an EOD range, and it's C4 that they use to destroy unexploded ordnance. So like basically, if you find a bomb that has not gone off, you bring it to a safe place and detonate it in a controlled way with C4.
Semtex and C4 are different compounds. Okay, I was just wondering if Semtex is just a brand or something. I just don't know. But yeah,
Semtex I just don't have much experience with. The one thing that is on every range safety brief is not to eat any of the C4.
What?
Apparently that is in the briefings because I'm sure it has happened. But
I want the forbidden chewing gum.
yeah, I must always tell people, like, when they go over that, I was like, guys, and yeah, please don't eat the C4 because I really don't want to be at the hospital telling a triage nurse that. Like, I'm gonna have to be the one to transport you there and tells the nurses, like, yeah, so you ate some C4.
Some dumb fuck thought C4 was a Laffy Taffy. But it's so yummy. There's also
I don't have a specific citation on that one. I just know it is at all the range safety briefs when I'm on explosives ranges.
Okay, I need to check something. How many calories?
So yeah, that's what like M8566 is saying it can't be C4 because it wasn't invented yet. And yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, I'm not sure what this compound was, but
so
it might just be dynamite.
Wait.
Blocks of dynamite, maybe.
How many calories are in C4? 0 calories. Keto friendly. Perfect.
Yeah, I don't think you don't eat it because it's not fattening or that it is fattening. It's more that like it's gonna be very toxic.
So this is from a site called foodline.com. It says C4's energies wait, C4 energy. Oh wait, is that like a hang on. I thought this was like about to be like a meme post, but is this just like an energy drink?
Oh, no, yeah, C4 is a pre-workout too.
Oh, I thought this was like just a funny meme post just now.
No, I think that C4 the explosive, but yeah, no, again, I don't know if anyone actually has eaten it, but I do know that it's in the range safety brief and it's there every time, which means when the RSO, like the range safety officer, is running an explosive range, they are required to tell people not to eat the C4. Otherwise, it wouldn't be in all of them.
Can't believe there's no nutritional value facts for C4 explosives on the Wikipedia. That's such bullshit. I legit thought someone was just doing a meme post because they maybe also heard that a story of someone eating C4. But I guess it's a pre-workout energy drink.
Yeah, no, it's a pre-workout that I did actually use when I was like doing my medic training. Like, yeah. It's got like a bunch of caffeine in it, amps you up. My pre-workout these days is coffee.
Yummy.
Good old coffee.
Anyway, we got our last couple of action scenes going on here. Ford has to fight the amped up version of Waffner. He is obviously overpowering him. He also destroys the timer on the C4. Or the explosives.
Yeah, immediately too. It's like the first thing Waffner does.
Yeah, very smart. You see that his face is like starting to kind of grow back together again. It's just getting a bit better. In the meantime, Boyce is also strapping on all these explosives to the wall, and the doctor kind of holds him at gunpoint. It's like, I won't let you destroy my life's work, but because he's just a stupid doctor experiment man, he doesn't really have a chance. He gets overpowered quite quickly and then stabbed by some scalpels on the ground. So, yeah, that went as well for him as I would have expected it to go for him because he's not a combatant. He's a doctor. So yeah.
An evil doctor.
An evil doctor. For goodness sake, Metal, don't try ordering C4 over the internet. But it's on Amazon right here.
Yeah, you could probably order the pre-workout and it'll be fine. That's although I guess your Google search history it's like, can I order C4 to my house? Might get flagged. It might be put on a list for a little. Once the pre-workout shows up, I think they'll be like, oh, okay, he just wants to get jacked.
Back in the village, Tibbet and Jacob are holding off some of the soldiers, and they save the kid. The kid comes running, and Tibbet actually goes and grabs him, protects him, and he bites a bullet for that one. He catches one, not lethally, but he's hurt, and he's wondering if the kid is okay, and the kid is, and he's like, very good.
It is a torso shot, though. He gets hit in the back of the shoulder. So
okay.
Lucky it didn't hit a lung, but Tibbet ends up being okay.
Yeah. Back with our boy John Walker. He now it's his turn to get tortured by Waffner, but he doesn't have a rope, so
the same line to him.
Yeah, I'm gonna win this one. Unfortunately, they don't have a rope, so he uses a hook and just plunges this into his chest, and that probably doesn't feel very good.
Chainsaw Massacred.
Yeah. I got fleams in my nose.
Meat hook, like suspending him from the ceiling. It's really, really brutal. Like, you can only imagine the pain. And Wyatt Russell, I think, does a good job of portraying that, because he doesn't just take it like a stoic badass. He's clearly in a lot of pain, and it's a good performance.
Oh, yeah, he gets punched a bit further. Waffner has a little bit of his, evilman monologue. It's like, oh, look, we just found this tar below the village, and now we're using it. And the only thing we had to do is use human bodies. They just did not have the vision, yada yada. And before he can do more to Walker, he gets shot by boys because he's back, but obviously, we know torso shots don't really do a lot, or shooting them in general doesn't do a lot.
Yeah, bullets are not the Achilles heel for these soldiers.
And they have a little bit of a back and forth. Walker realizes, okay, I need to do something, so he pulls himself up to releases the hook out of his body and just falls to the ground.
Badass. Debatably not physically possible, but it is like, it's a pretty damn badass moment where he just like grabs on the chain and just like basically does a little close grip pull up and gets the hook out of his sternum.
Yeah, and he realizes, okay, we can't really stop him, but there's one more of that serum down here, and he plunges it into his stomach and waits for the effects to happen. In the meantime,
kind of his only choice too. Because, like, after that hook being in his chest, it's like, well, it's I do this and I can maybe help a bit more, or I'm just gonna die right now.
Yeah. In the meantime, while he waits for the things to take effect, Boyce is getting dunked in some corpse water. Very nice, very delicious, nice and refreshing.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, he actually got kind of lucky that Waffner decided to drown him as opposed to just like immediately crushing his skull or something.
Yeah. But before he can fully...
You just don't get it, do you?
You don't... No, I have a gun. We can do it together. We can just go back and shoot him. It's like, you just don't get it, son.
We need to put him in an easily escapable situation involving an over-elaborate and exotic death.
Death. But yeah, Walker, he finally got a super serum. And with this, our origin story of John Walker, Captain America. Here it is. It's finally here.
I mean, yeah, it's like horror movie Captain America actually occurs at the end of this film. Like, super serum gets him up, gets him in the fight, but it's brutal and horrible. Not, oh, look, the scrawny guy is like super jacked.
Waffner even tries to convince him how great this is now. It's like, how does it feel having the blood of eternity flow through you? And he just says, feels not fucking great.
Yeah. I kind of like that that Boffner almost kind of gives him a moment of respect.
Yeah.
Like to be like, yeah, now I have a real fight here coming. But like Ford is not really like playing into it. He's just like, no, this is fucking horrible. Like this is unholy nonsense that's occurring right here, and you're stupid for being proud of it.
Yeah. Well, they have a bit of back and forth. Wafna is a bit stronger, I guess, because he had two flames in his body, and Boyce comes crawling back, handgun in his hand, and well, Ford just rolls a little canister next to him, and Wafna doesn't really realize what the idea is, and then he just says, "Boys, just have a little understanding," and he shoots the explodey
Shoot the
barrel.
thing.
And well, Ford gets yeeted into the wall, and Wagner gets yeeted into the tar pit, I think it is.
Yeah, he falls in the hole. Pit fatality.
Yeah. But yeah, in theory, Ford is doing not super badly. Like, he's getting healed by the things. They start to go to the door, and well, Ford pushes Boyce out, locks the door, throws the key away, and basically tells him to go away. I was never planning to get out of here alive after this. Whatever they did here, I don't think our side should have it either. So,
which, I mean, if it was just super serum that just like objectively just made people stronger and better, but didn't really change them all that much, that might have not been the best decision.
mm-hmm.
But we know that this turns people into like horrible monsters because like the scene with Chase. So he's like, look, I'm not just going to heal and be okay. Okay. I'm not human anymore at this point. So kind of does a, yeah, like John Carpenter's The Thing style ending. Where it's just like, yeah, we're just going to die here so that this thing doesn't have anywhere to go.
And he also tells him that he destroyed the timer. So I have to do it manually. So you better get running. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Another Captain America hero death, as someone in chat said. That's my Captain America.
Yeah, no, like Ford, I think is a good character. He's not like a squeaky clean Boy Scout, but ultimately, I think it's undeniable that he is a hero and is willing to sacrifice himself for the mission. Like, so all the talk about other people dying not being something that can distract from the mission is something that he's able to put his money where his mouth is, and I thought that was a pretty good way to end his character.
Yeah, and he takes some of the explosives, which I guess when he puts like a thing on it like this and lights it up, I guess it's gonna be TNT or something then, right?
I mean, yeah, that's kind of what I said, that it could just be dynamite. But
I said dynamite.
Like,
yeah,
you can detonate C4 with a fuse like that.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that. I thought you needed like an electric thingy to go in it.
No, we use these things called flash tubes that I've actually detonated one. It's pretty neat that it's like a big wire that I think it's like magnesium. Like, it's a magnesium wire, and then like you obviously you roll out a very long wire of it, and then it's like this little thing where you like pull the tube and it just goes snap, and you see the little spark thing go like ultra fast, and then like 200, 400 meters, I think 400 meters away, you'll just see. Yeah. Every so often they let me do the detonations.
Yay.
Yeah. Because especially because when they're blowing stuff up, I have to stay in the bunker. Like, I can't just wait in my am. So I'm really sitting in there doing nothing for a good chunk of that time. And then every so often they're like, hey, you want to do the detonation? I'm like, yes. Yes, I'll blow something up.
Nice. So yeah, Walker blows himself and the couple of monstrosities down here up, making the whole thing collapse and explode, and the day is saved. We go back to the village. Everyone is chilling, kinda. We hear the message on the radio that the invasion on Hitler's Europe has started, and Boyce comes back. Everyone's like, "Yay! What about Ford?" And he just does like the head shakes, like, "No, he didn't make it." It's like, okay.
Oh, how about that? Maybe I'm a little wrong. Oh? Apparently, C4 is a secondary explosive, so it requires a primary detonation. So,
okay.
Oh, so I guess in the shock tube, it's to another type of explosive that actually blows up and detonates the C4. But
Possibly.
I know that I've pulled the thing and I saw a little spark of magnesium go very, very fast across the field, and then there was a big boom. But I'm a medic, not an EOD guy. I only have to do work on EOD ranges when it's a bad day for everybody.
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen too often, because that's probably
it's
nasty business.
There's not been a single major injury on any EOD range that I've covered, and me and everyone else is very happy about that.
I bet. Yeah.
Joke. It's like a good day for everybody is when the medic spends most of the day in his ambulance reading manga.
Yeah. But yeah, we end the movie with boys getting called to like a commanding officer of sorts in a tent. It's like, oh, why did you go below the church and not just blow it up from up? It's like, well, Corporal Ford thought it was the best because of the number of enemy troops and everything. It was just we thought we wouldn't be able to hold them off for long enough upstairs. And the guy's like, well, that was a very good call. So I wish I could tell him that myself. Anyway, was there anything weird that you found down there in the thing? You would tell us about this, right? And he's like, no, just a communication center. And the guy's like, oh yeah, I thought so. It was just talk among the men. So yeah, good job. By the way, you're in Charlie Company now, so it's not like they get to go home after this. They just still have to do war now.
Yeah, which I think at least Tibbet would probably be out for a little while because of that shoulder shot. Like, him being able to like lift a sniper rifle would not be super easy if you got hit in the shoulder.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like there was just, and he even mentioned, he's like, oh man, after all that, I thought we'd just be able to go home. Like, nope, we gotta win the war. Yeah. But yeah, I think the scene where the guy's like, yeah, is there any reason we should go down there and try to see what we can dig up? And he's like, nope, no, those are just rumors.
Yeah, there's also nothing left.
Control room, and
we blew it up quite well. But yeah, time for war now, and it's GG's. There we go. We did it. Nice and simple, fun little movie to watch.
Yeah.
Easy on the brain, easy on the eyes. It's it's an actual movie. It's an actual movie.
And I heard that this was supposed to be in the Cloverfield franchise. And then apparently, I think it was.
Wait, was Cloverfield? I thought it was like the thing with like the big monster thingies.
Yeah. So they did Cloverfield, and then they did 10 Cloverfield Lane, which was didn't really have anything to do with the original Cloverfield. They maybe could tie it into it a bit at the end by being like, well, there's aliens. I guess spoilers for 10 Cloverfield Lane. There's aliens at the end of it that show up, so maybe those are like some of the things that are associated with the Cloverfield aliens. And it kind of wasn't, though. They're very different looking. And then they did the Cloverfield Paradox, which was a Netflix movie that was a space kind of survival, like almost shitty Event Horizon type movie, but with way less cool stuff in it. That the Cloverfield monster does show up at the end. Okay. But I think because people hated, I'm pretty sure because people really didn't like the Cloverfield Paradox, they decided against it and just removed the Cloverfield branding. Because I think it was Bad Robot, which is J.J. Abrams' company, kind of wanted. Oh God, Rocky's kissing me. Rocky, you're a good boy. I love you, but I'm trying to talk about stuff. And I think that they were trying to turn it into almost like a Twilight Zone type deal, where it's every Cloverfield movie is a different story. And I think just because this movie's so far removed from any of those, that there's no aliens. It's just like a action horror movie. Let's maybe remove the. I don't know if they were going to call it Overlord or like what.
Overlord.
I have no idea what the thing was going to be, but it was supposed to be Cloverfield 4 until they just decided to change the title. Jojo.
Oh well, but yeah, no, I think this does fine by itself. Not everything needs to be part of a dumbass franchise. So yeah, I think this did well the way it is, and yeah, it's a nice watch. It keeps it simple. It has nothing crazy deep about it. They're not trying to do anything crazy. You get a heroic death at the end. You get some.
Jojo, no.
got some characters that have a little bit of development, so you have something to look forward to with those guys. And yeah, it's if I would
Yeah,
have gone to the cinema to see this, had a little popcorn, something to drink, I would not be mad if I would have paid
yeah,
money for this.
I did, and I was pretty happy with it. This is the first time, or I guess 2 nights ago. Yeah, 2 nights ago. Yeah, I didn't watch it last night. I watched it on Friday.
Hmm.
Yeah, I rewatched it and was like wondering, I wonder if this movie is actually kind of shit, and I'm just remembering that it was better than it was. But no, it was about what I remember. It's like, yeah, this is just a fun movie that it doesn't have too much ambition. It doesn't saddle itself, luckily, because apparently this was a close call with ties to a franchise or anything like that. It's
Yeah.
just like an exploitation kind of grindhouse World War II / monster movie. And yeah, simple character arcs. Like they don't have too much going on in
Hmm.
them. It's not like a movie that will really dig into the human psyche and what it
No.
means to be a soldier. But I mean, there's a little bit of, hey, what is combat stress like? What kind of horror does one feel in just normal ass war versus like a monster situation? And you could maybe argue that the scariest scene in the movie for the characters is the opening. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
because that's
probably.
when it's like, man, like you're very fucked like here, and you kind of just have to hope that you don't die in a lot of ways. And
Mm.
whereas the rest of it, there's at least decisions they can make that might help them survive or not. And
Yeah. I mean, if you want a
yeah,
movie that goes into how that is more, I mean, All Quiet on the Western Front is right there for you to watch both
oh
versions,
yeah,
the
yeah,
old one and the newer
great
one.
movies.
Uh, Quite good stuff. Which I
Yeah,
did a
I
for.
recommend
Wait,
watching it. I think
were you on that
who's
forge when we did that?
no, it was not.
Because I did it with
Might
Cap, I think.
might have been shortly before I joined as co-host, because that movie's not that old,
It's
right? Or like a
2022,
remake.
the new
I
version.
mean, obviously the original one is pretty old, but I think actually like M8566 says want to say 6 out of 10, and I think that is a reasonable score, but it's like an actual 6 out of 10, not an IGN
No,
6.
wait, did I
It's like,
join
yeah,
Cap's stream? Wait,
this is an
there you
above
go. Doesn't matter.
average movie. It's like it's a good time at the movie theater that you're gonna walk out being
Hmm.
like, yeah, that was fun. It's not gonna blow you away. It's probably not gonna be one of your top 10 favorite movies ever, but you won't walk out of it with a headache.
Yeah, it's if you like, you don't know, you have like a stormy, rainy night or something. It's like, oh, you know what? I always want to sit down, watch a movie. Uh,
Yeah. Watch it on
pop,
June 6th. Double
pop.
feature it with Saving Private Ryan. Pretend,
Yeah,
pretend that they are the ones that make it so that Tom Hanks's platoon actually survives.
and we get John Walker in an actual movie. I mean, yeah, this is kind of why this came up because I said that last week. It's like, oh man, I like this actor. I want to see him in an actual movie, and then you brought this one up, and then we did it.
The things I like him in, that granted I've not seen him in all that much, but the things I really like him in was this movie and the episode of Black Mirror that he's in, actually with Ghost from Thunderbolts as well.
Really
Hannah John Kamen, I
interesting.
think is her name. But and that one is kind of it sort of pokes fun at Hideo Kojima a bit. It's like there's like this
He does
video
that to
game
himself
developer
sometimes.
that's like,
He did it. He
sorry?
did it. He did. Hideo Kojima does that himself sometimes, like today, because
Pokes fun at himself.
yeah, because sometimes the movies he likes are just bad, like Thunderbolts.
Oh, really?
He did a
liked
tweet,
Thunderbolts?
is like, oh, this was like really nice and stuff. It's like it wasn't. It was bad.
I think there's a lot of people that think Thunderbolts is better than it is just because of the state of the MCU right now. So when something is just
Oh, great! So it's a
the-
2.5 instead of a 1, I
approaching
guess.
mid, like, I don't know, like I'd say that it is a solid score point above like Quantumania, Multiverse of Madness, and even Brave New World.
Dude, the
Like
bar
I
we're
was
at
at
with
least
these
interested
movies,
to
it's
see how
so
some of the things in
crazy.
Thunderbolts would play out, whereas all the rest of them, I'm just like, all of this is fucking nonsense.
Yeah, the bar we're
But
at right now with these movies is so insane. It's better
yeah,
than the
but
one now. It's like, ooh.
Playtest. I think Playtest is the name of the Black Mirror episode,
Mm,
where it's Wyatt Russell gets a job playtesting this like visionary game director's game who does like all sorts of really revolutionary, innovative stuff with the gaming medium, and there's Black Mirror tech involved, and yeah, it's a kind of Silent Hill type situation that like because it's like, basically he's put in a haunted house where like all sorts of crazy shit goes down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd recommend that Black Mirror episode for sure. And Black Mirror episodes on their own are kind of like it's like a little movie essentially because they're speaking of Twilight Zone, I guess like it is
Yeah.
sort of tech-based Twilight Zone, Black Mirror.
Actually, a friend told me about a couple of Black Mirror things. What happens in there? It might be worth a watch. There seem to be a couple of pretty good
You
ones in
know,
there.
yeah, I think that like if we're ever hard up for a forge and just want to do one that's relatively quick, a Black Mirror episode might not be a bad series to
Oh,
kind of
okay.
to revisit because like each one does have a self-contained story.
Yeah,
Every so
exactly.
often there's one that will like refer to tech that is in other episodes, but it's rare that you'll ever see a character more than once.
Gotcha. Okay,
And
so
if you do, it's they're playing a different person.
also I've written down two more recommendations from chat. We got apparently a clown in a cornfield. Seems to be a good one to check out if you like
I've
this.
not heard of that.
Me neither. And apparently Kelly's Heroes for World War II movie. I think I've heard that name before, but I don't think I ever watched it.
I've not seen Kelly's Heroes. Donald Sutherland, right?
Ah.
Speaking of Jack Bauer earlier, it's Jack Bauer's father.
No, there you go. But yeah, give the movie a shot. It's an easy watch. Definitely worth it for a one-off movie experience, I'd say. And yeah. No, that's it. I don't know what the end was supposed to be for, but I just said it, and now I just take it back.
Yeah, we're getting a few recommendations for Kelly's Heroes here. And yeah, no, that's one that I think I've always meant to watch, but just never got around to it.
Oh, okay. Well, I've written it down. I'll put it in our big ol' list. Big ol' listicus. We got a couple super chats here. Let's go through this really quick and some memberships. We got 30 months of Flimflammery by Dr. Diddler. Thank you very much.
Yay.
Play SMT3. You will suffer and we will laugh. Wait, what was SMT?
Megami Tensei 3, Nocturne, I believe. Yeah, it's
Those
Persona
those
is
games never
a
appealed to
spin-off.
me, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I played a bit of
No, wait,
SMT3. I didn't really get into it. I've played quite a few of the Persona games, but yeah, I think I played the demo for SMT5. But yeah, no, I think the what would be the word? The dourness, like the seriousness of SMT versus Persona, I think just has not quite grabbed me. But in any of the ones I've tried, which granted is not a lot.
Which
but,
one?
It's
Which one is that? Which one is it
3?
3? Yeah.
3 is I think it was a PS2 game, but it is
Wait,
on
let's-
Steam now. And,
Oh wait, I got
yeah.
I have
SMT3 is
2 in
Nocturne.
my hand right now physically.
You have Shin Megami Tensei 2?
Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga 2. I don't know if that's another
that
one of the.
DS?
No, that's a PlayStation 2 game.
Oh, okay. There were quite a few SMT spin-offs on like 3DS and DS, I believe.
I'm pretty sure this is a game I bought on a sale sometime. I put it in my PlayStation.
It says Digital Devil Saga is a different spin-off. So.
Ah.
Persona is the SMT spin-off that really kind of took off and became its own thing, though, and is now like kind of bigger than the main SMT series.
This is a physical copy of a game where I had a Steam experience with, basically. I bought it on a sale somewhere in a shop, popped it in once, like, okay, I'll play that at some point, and then I haven't touched it ever since. Just, every time Shin Megami Tensei comes, I was like, oh yeah, I bought this game someday. This even has like a little thing. Thank you for purchasing this prologue. Please take a few minutes to fill out the registration card to receive information and product updates. Ghostlightuk.com. The fuck is that?
Send it in. See what happens.
Stansted Distribution Center.
Funny though, SMT and Persona might be in a little bit of trouble because have you heard about Nintendo like copywriting some gameplay mechanics to further fight against Pal World?
Isn't it just people on birds like flying or something? Wasn't like something really retarded?
So they can't use the monster characters to travel. So I think Pal World has since just changed them to a normal glider. Okay. If they manage to like copyright the glider, it's like, well, there's now okay, so I guess Genshin Impact and Horizon Forbidden West are in trouble. But one of them I think was capturing monsters and then using them to attack, using them as attack abilities or something like that. And I was like, if they successfully patent that, there are so many games that are now just going to need to be like shut down. and like never made again. Because like,
Patent
at least in,
gliding, flying on animals, monsters. And then someone else said Nintendo already had those patents on mechanics. Really? I'm confused how this works even.
yeah, it's a bad precedent to set. If Nintendo is allowed to just copyright gameplay mechanics, the time that it happened has resulted in a really cool system from the Lord of the Rings games just never being used again with the Nemesis system.
Nemesis system, yeah. I need to play those
And
games. I never got into them.
yeah, like Nintendo's kind of gotten to the point now
around
where
to them.
like we don't even want developers being inspired by us, like which I think. Like I've definitely gotten in a lot of arguments, mostly during the course of the time that I was doing like Geeks and Gamers. Because Jeremy is a pretty big fan of Nintendo. I
Yeah.
won't make any judgments on that here, but he is very much on the team of like Nintendo can do whatever they want because they keep making great games. And I'm like, no, but when they do terrible things, I'm gonna say that they're terrible things.
Yeah.
And this is pretty terrible. They've also apparently done this new thing with their TOS where they have the ability to brick your Nintendo Switch 2 if they determine that you've broken the terms of service.
What the fuck?
If you decide to modify your Nintendo Switch 2 in any way, make sure that you've flat out just disabled the Wi-Fi card on it, because if Nintendo even thinks that you might be, they can just brick your system. And
you own nothing,
at least
and
for us,
you'll love it.
$700 down the drain.
You own nothing, and you'll love it.
What kills me is I'm just like, Nintendo, release like most of your back catalog on Steam. Like even stop at GameCube, and you'll just make a shitload of money and not have to do crazy shit like this. And if you say that, oh, but if you can play NES through GameCube games on Steam, why would I ever buy a Switch? I'll be like, well, I mean, there's more games that come after that, right? Like there's plenty of ways they could be making more money instead of spending money doing this like silly legal stuff.
So I think I might have cost Nintendo at least one Nintendo Switch 2 sale. Because
I don't know if you're allowed to say that. You might get taken down for.
Hey, I just someone wanted a handheld thingy, and he asked me about the Steam Deck, and it's like, yeah, I used one. It's fucking amazing. You should check it out. And then he bought one and tinkered around with it. It's like, yeah, this is great. I don't need a Switch 2 anymore.
Well, and I mean, again, and then it goes back to most people, I think, that are at least aware of a Steam Deck, and especially if they actually own one, are probably only going to get a Switch 2 if there's exclusive games that they want to play and the emulators don't get up and running fast enough, which just makes me think it's like, okay, well, does that not mean, though, that the hardware itself is nothing special, and that maybe all the restrictions you have on that hardware make it even less special? Because ultimately, even if, let's say the Switch 2 is more powerful than the Steam Deck, which I don't even know is the case necessarily. I think it's just using DLSS trickery in a way that the Steam Deck can't do. But if that's true, then there's still way more things you can do with a Steam Deck that make it a better value proposition. Not only that, the library of games that you can buy, and they're just on your Steam account forever, not needing to rent and pay Nintendo monthly in order to play Ocarina of Time, is just, massive. Like there's a lot of games on Steam, and any one that was made like 5 years ago or older will likely run on Steam Deck just fine.
Yeah.
New games are having a little bit of trouble on Steam Deck these days, but ultimately it's like, well, okay, now I think that you can't play a lot of PS5 games on your Switch 2 either, though, right? So at a certain point, it's still a handheld system, but there's still a lot of games from, like, I guarantee you the entire PS3, Xbox 360 era and earlier, any of those games that have a Steam port will run perfectly on a Steam Deck. Not to mention, there are also just PC games, right?
Yeah. Well. We got $2 by Jackson Voorhees saying Go Loser Ranger anime is a great watch. I've never heard of that. I'll write it down.
Loser is just called?
Loser Ranger, yeah.
Loser Ranger. Ah, okay.
Yeah, Go Loser. Go Loser Rangers.
And yeah, Naruto, as far as the Epicverse streams, I used to be on it much more often, and it's the only reason I'm not these days is just because I've been trying to get to bed earlier, and they start at 8:30 on a night where I need to be at work the next day. So Yeah, I was even on like I was just gonna pop on talk about Expedition 33 for a bit and stayed a bit longer than I would even intended to, but yeah,
Yes.
no, like I'm on good terms with those guys.
Go and everything and chill the forge. Do it.
Well, I mean, it's more that like I'll pop on if they're going to be talking about it because like I said, I'm in their group chat, so I know what their topics are going to be, and if
Yeah.
they pull up a topic that I know I have things to say about, I might just hop on. It's Thursday nights at 8:30 on the Epic First channel. Who's
Absolutely.
the indie movie studio that making, I guess, the movie Reflection that you might see me in if you look close.
Whoa. Look at the big shot over here.
Yeah, do a little bit of acting, no big deal.
No big deal. Myrtle needs to hit those tip goals for the vest. True. Got 5 gifted memberships by M8566. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
We got $5 by John Constantine saying, Metal, please binge Ender Season 2 and join EFAB for their review and or do a forge. It was nice having you on the Season 1 EFAB.
I mean, yeah, I'm up for doing an Andor forge. Although I think the problem with Andor is that it's a lot of content to cover.
Yeah.
So, we'd likely have to do multiple forges.
A lot of
kinda like
dense
Penguin,
content as well.
Or just like a general discussion one. But we got one more block of episodes coming out on Tuesday. So
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably only watch it after I'm done with The Last of Us. So I just have the free slot to put that in for watchings.
when I need a break from Doom: The Dark Ages, I will watch the last 3 episodes of Andor. Though
Nice.
I'm really happy I stayed up a little later than I wanted to. 2 kind of interrupted sleeps this week. I stayed up a little later than I wanted to for this week's episode of Andor because I finished episode 8 and was like, okay, well, I need to keep going because
Yeah,
that was incredible. But yeah, so Doom: The Dark Ages, I think the early access comes out on Tuesday at 8, and Andor will be Tuesday at 9 for me. So
Okay.
I could play an hour of Doom: The Dark Ages, and then if I cave and watch Andor, that'll be that. But I guess I'm happy I did this week because, Twitter was loaded with spoilers for Andor that I'm happy I didn't know when I watched it.
Mauler couldn't finish Ender EFAB yesterday, so he decided he's going to do a part 2 today. Oh, was he busy? I was wondering why they were already done with the stream when I went to bed last night. I always like to, even if I don't watch the EFABs, I just check when I go to bed. It's like, are they still going, or was this a quote-unquote short one?
Yeah, I think they were just covering the first 3 episodes, right? I think because it said Andor Part 1, but I guess that might have just been Part 1 of the Andor
Wait, I thought they
stream,
already did a chunk of the episodes.
I don't know. I mean, I know they were doing it yesterday, and I thought it said Andor Part 1. I didn't get a chance to watch the EFAP yesterday. I was just doing some work on some things that did not allow for me to also be listening to stuff. But yeah, no, Ryan's got a lot of Star Wars knowledge. Right? So having him on there, I think, was a good call.
Oh, well. Oh, okay, well, but yeah. I mean, I'll be on plenty of more EFAPs. I mean, there's plenty in the can that haven't even released yet, so I'm sure I'll be back. I would have totally joined for the Until Dawn one, but unfortunately I was busy. I would have kind of liked to talk about that. I think that was probably a funny one to talk about. No, I didn't. I just know it has nothing to do with the games, and they didn't do anything interesting with the formula, so there you go.
Yeah, which kind of makes you think, it's like, why have it be a movie that you call Until Dawn if you're not going to have it follow the game? Because unlike their what's the studio? Supermassive. Unlike Supermassive's other series, Dark Pictures Anthology, Until Dawn was just one game. Like, it's not like a series that has a bunch of different stories in it. It's just Until Dawn is the Wendigo / serial killer at the snowy cottage thing.
Well, I just recently played this with Mauler when it was over. We played the new and the old version at the same time. That was fun.
You know what I did find funny is when I was leaving Thunderbolts, I saw posters for Until Dawn that has nothing to do with the game Until Dawn, as well as another movie that Rami Malek's in. Like the guy who became a massive actor after being in Until Dawn is actually in a movie that's competing with the Until Dawn movie this weekend. I found that kind of funny.
No. Then the membership message by M8566 is 9 months of bearded fleaminess. Thank you very much. Like the stream, or Metal will experiment on you in his goon cave. Maybe I will.
Well, let's hope not.
Well,
that's why I gotta never go to Germany again.
All you gotta do is click that like button.
To be fair, I've only been in Germany for like a day, and it's just because I had a layover there when I was flying home from Austria.
Okay.
Stopped over in Frankfurt and was there for like 6 hours, and got on my next plane. So I've
Right.
seen the Frankfurt airport.
Wow. Have I been to that one? Actually, not sure. I don't know why it
Well,
would
there you
be.
go. I've been to a place in Germany that you have not.
It's like Cologne and Düsseldorf. Those are mostly the airports I go to. Oh well. Uh, and then we got $5 by Slumpy. Thank you very much. Saying upcoming horror movie Omukade is worth looking into. I've written that down
Omukade?
to maybe check that out.
I've not heard of it.
No, me neither.
But I think that
apparently there's a
this
trailer out
year-
for it. So
This year, I think the good movies that we'll end up seeing are going to be the like smaller ones that you've never heard of, and just they happen to be quite good. Because, like I said, other than 28 Years Later, which I'm cautiously optimistic about, I don't think any of the big movies this year I'm even really a little bit excited about. Like, there's nothing that's making me be like, okay, yeah, I'm at the theater for that day one for sure.
Mm-hmm. And that's a super chat.
Cosmic Vader has been to the Frankfurt airport.
Wow.
Oh, Omukade is Thai, a Thai film.
Cologne is some very pog beer. Kölsch is delicious. Kölsch is good stuff. Mühlenkölsch is my favorite.
I most of the beer that I drank in Austria, at least, which is,
Well, that's probably
Germany's
Weizen. They're big on Weizen.
Yeah, I'm a big wheat beer guy. And
It's good stuff.
Weissens are how I roll. Although, like I've had 3 beers in 2025, so I don't really drink all that much these days.
I do. I'm still drink with the boys kind of boy. I'm still doing that.
Yeah. Well,
But mostly it's from the comfort of my own home via Discord because all of us are lazy.
well, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's not that I wouldn't drink. It's just like I don't go out very often. I try to do my best to save money and be in good shape. Both of which things that are injured slightly, at least, by going out drinking. So, yeah, I've just been living the sober-ish life. But I think that anytime I tell people that I've not really had anything to drink since like December, they think I'm an alcoholic, and then I've just like actually stopped. I'm like, no, it's not like I even drank all that much before. It's just that now I kind of drink never. So I had 3 beers on my birthday.
Woohoo!
Went out with a couple friends. But even then, like on my birthday, where it was my birthday and I went out to a bar with my friends, I didn't like get shit-faced either. I just had a few beers.
Marc, 3 beers in 2025. Metal, 3 beers in the last 25 minutes.
25 minutes.
Well, I'm currently not drinking that much beer because it's way too heavy on calories and I'm still trying to lose weight. So I mostly just go for Coke Zero with whiskey. But I still have to watch the calories there.
Coffee and water are pretty much what I
That's
drink
both
these days.
0 calories.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like my coffee is not. So because I will put this chocolate milk, like lactose-free chocolate milk in my coffee, and it gives it a little bit of extra boost for like protein, fats, and some calories.
Isn't that just basically a mocha then? That's a mocha, right?
Yeah. Like I don't do anything fancy with it though. I just brew coffee in the morning and then I pour a little bit of my kind of nice chocolate milk in there, stir it up, and have it in my thermos through the day. And
well, I drink my coffee.
That's how I subsist through the day, and then I don't eat until I get home.
I always drink my coffee black.
0 calories in C4 Snoopy Diz.
Unless you mean the pre-workout, that's like 20 calories apparently.
Oh, really? Okay, so. I see, because I kind of figured that was no calories too, because lots of workout supplements tend to be calories, except for protein. Protein has to have calories.
Whiskey Coke is pretty pog. Have you tried whiskey and ginger ale, Metal? No, I have not. Yeah, whiskey Coke is like my go-to. It's nice.
Rye and ginger, Canadian whiskey and ginger is a pretty popular drink.
I always mix my
Crown Royale, Canadian Classic. Those are ryes.
I just use Ballantines for mixing. I think it's the nicest one. It goes with Coke. Not the super cheapest one, but it's still not an expensive one. It's like $15 here. Actually, I think booze is super cheap here anyway. So if I could say that price, we're like, that's all. It's like, yeah, that's not even the cheapest one.
As Lumpy's working on a bottle of maple whiskey. Well, if it's maple rye whiskey, then that's extremely Canadian.
Oh well.
But whiskey is the type of drink that you can make from a few different grains, so I think that's the difference with them.
Well, well, well. Well, we got it. We're done here.
Well,
yeah, go watch the movie. It's
yeah,
fun
yes.
stuff. I've written
Yeah.
down a couple of those suggestions. I throw them in our list, and yeah, with that, thanks for hanging out. Of course, Mark, you wanna talk about your vidya and when it might come out?
So I'm hoping that by the end of the month. Right now, I'm just waiting for a little bit of an issue with my channel's monetization to sort itself out because I don't want to release the first major video I've made in a long time and then not be able to actually make anything off of it. But yeah, the Berserk video is effectively done. So I'm just going to use the next a couple days to few weeks, which is what even YouTube support told me. They're like, oh, yeah, no, it's in review right now. It should be fine, but there's no way for us to expedite it. So it'll either be a 2 days, but up to 2 to 3 weeks. So I'm going to use that time to give it a watch a few more times, see if I can think of anything that'll polish it up a bit and, you know, be a bit more of a perfectionist. But yeah, Berserk video is finished. 100 hour and 20 minutes, covers 3 games, and yeah, talks a bit about Berserk and why I'm as big a fan of it as I am. Almost said as I is, and I was like, yeah,
As I is.
there's the grammar. Come watch the 120-minute script or hour and 20-minute script that I wrote.
Very good.
I speak English good.
Yeah. If you haven't yet, link is down below. It should be a doozy to watch.
Oh, Catarina Overlord, I can tell you because I'm not there anymore. So the unit that I was with was 2 Field Am at CFB Petawawa, but I've not been there since 2020. So if you go to Petawawa expecting to find me, you will not find me there unless I'm there on like a tasking.
Very well. Well, I'll be back tomorrow with The Last of Us. Woo!
Yay!
1 or 2 more streams. 1 or 2 more streams, and I'm done with this stupid fucking game. I'm really not looking forward to playing more of this. It's so dull and boring and lame. But yeah, that's gonna be tomorrow.
Catarina War was next door. So I mean, if you're there between 2014 and 2020, and you're, I guess, 2 CER, which would be like the one that might be dealing with explosives that's next door, then yeah, it's possible I was your medic at one time. I had 2 legs for most of the time I was there, though. So I guess just you recognize my voice would be the question.
Fun stuff. Small world. It's a small world. And yeah, obviously, plan is to get that rand out edited on Tuesday, and then I guess the next stream after this would just be Doom when that releases. So that should be fun stuff.
So we'll do our discussion on the 25th, and if Metal wants to skip Forge next week so that he can do some stream, that'll be at least on this time slot 2 weeks of Doom: The Dark Ages content.
Pretty much. That's that might be actually not a bad idea. So I can definitely finish that game. But we'll see. Maybe I'll make like a big dent and I can tell how long it's gonna go. But yeah, you'll know. You'll definitely get a stream on the Sunday. It might be a Forge or just gonna be a Doom stream. But yeah.
And as Chris mentioned, be sure to hydrate, take some Motrin, and change your socks.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out, guys, and we'll be back soon. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.